Dandruff and an oily coat.
DINOVITE.com.
I was thrilled when I heard Dinovite for Cats was coming
If you
out.
love your pets as much as I do, you'll want to do what's best for them.
Dinovite is a life changer.
Lately, she's been a lot more playful, a lot more energetic, more active.
Dinovite for life.
You won't believe how happy your cat will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Hey folks, this is Nate Bucati for my friend Gary Joslin and Joslin's Jewelry. Look, in this day and age, most jewelry stores won't give you the service or knowledge that you need. If you want to work with real Kansas Cityans and get a great diamond at a great price, trust me, go to Joslin's. They're all about making friends and having long-term relationships. That's why they do such a great business with their in-house repairs. If you take your ring into one of those big box jewelry stores because it needs a repair, be prepared to pay all kinds of markups and fees that you don't need. That's not what they do at Joslin's. At Joslin's, you get an honest quote, a fair price, and the repairs that you need. And they've got a great selection of diamonds. So give them a call today at 913-341-2021, or you can look them up online at joslinsjewelry.com. Joslin's Jewelry, the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family.
Joslin's Jewelry for the best that's yet to come.
Listen to all 67 games this March, including Kansas versus Eastern Washington.
Number 3 seed in the West region, the Kansas Jayhawks.
Oklahoma versus Missouri.
Oklahoma, Coach Kruger's done it for a long time at a high level.
And Wichita State versus Drake. Plus live coverage and interviews with KU, MU, and everyone that matters. Kansas City's home for the NCAA tournament. Sports Radio 810 WHB. Isn't this a sports show?
Also, if you listen on the app, you get the X-rated Sirius XM coverage where they curse. You ever want to hear Kevin Harlan say, "Oh, he bleeping missed it"?
Almost entirely.
None of that's true, except for somebody being able to listen on the app and the website. That is true.
Jordan Purdue, bleep yeah!
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Put the bleeping hammer down!
Rock chalk it the bleep up!
Take the show with you by listening on the Sports Radio 810 mobile app at 810WHB.com or by searching for Almost Entirely Sports wherever you get your podcasts.
What else are we missing? What else can we go to?
Oh, I'm trying to think of like famous calls.
Yeah, me too. Do you believe in miracles? Holy bleep!
Dang it!
Is that yours?
Yeah!
This is Almost Entirely Sports on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
We are on day 2 of Trent Williams watch. We've got free agent news. The Chiefs have made some moves, some that are feel good and a nice outlook for the 2021 season. One move that is extremely cold. And we'll talk about all of those things over the course of the show tonight. We got Seth Keysor at a special time to Seth Keysor Tuesday. He will join us in 20 minutes. That's right. We're not making you wait until 9 o'clock tonight. We're not holding Seth until the end of the show. We're taking Seth at 7:25 tonight because with all the things going on right now, we've been worried all day about will there be more news somewhere, just out of a crevice of Twitter at some point. Most recently, I think I've seen that Nate Taylor has tweeted that the Chiefs are interested in Zach Ertz, who's gotten permission to seek out a trade. We've got all sorts of madness that's been happening all day here. Also, Rudy got a Top Shot pack in the pre-sale earlier.
Yeah.
We all missed out on the most recent one. Beards and I struck out twice. Such is life.
I'm 2 for 3. Yeah, you could say I missed out on this one, so you could say I'm 2 for 4. But I got
you
one
got
of
a
those
pack
packs,
today.
so
That's fine.
I'm 2 for 3 so far on the packs.
We will also talk. We're going to talk about a bunch of Chiefs stuff through this next hour and a half or so. Really for the next couple hours in all likelihood, because we'll talk about more Chiefs stuff after Seth is done with us. We'll take him probably to around 8, and we'll have him on here, and maybe we'll get some sort of Trent Williams news. Maybe we'll have to play the breaking news zinger whenever Seth is on. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But we'll have Seth Keysor live here in about 20 minutes to talk about Joe Thuney. He's got a film review that I read this morning. Literally the first thing I did this morning was not even get out of bed. It was open my email, click on the link. I think I actually may have clicked Seth's tweet, if I'm being honest, and read it in the browser. It's free for everybody. You can check it out in the Chief of the North newsletter. I read his Joe Thuney breakdown, and I feel relatively similar to how I did before reading it about the signing, which I think is okay. I think that means that maybe my instincts on that were not the worst thing in the world. We'll see how it goes. Whenever we talk to Seth, we'll let him make the case for, against the signing, the ins and outs and all of that. And then we'll have some bracketology at 9 tonight. We will have Almost Entirely Sports' chief bracketologist join us at 9 p.m. tonight. We will also finalize the Dick Justice bracket, and maybe we'll talk a little bit also about what we're going to do in terms of trying to do an Almost Entirely Sports bracket. We have 2 days, essentially, to figure out the rules and seed that bracket if, in fact, we are going to make that happen. So we've got a lot to figure out over the course of the show today. But, also, it's a work in progress. Beard, do you want me to say the work in progress?
Sure, go for it.
The work in progress right now is that we think we're going to get to a place where if you leave a comment on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube pages, Twitch has been king, really, since we kicked it off or towards the beginning of this year. It should pop up on the screen. I should be able to put my hand kind of over in this area here, and maybe you'll get a little comment. But honestly, I thought we had it figured out. Beards, do you have the fresh link in? Do you want me to test it again as the 810 account on Twitch?
Yeah, I think I've got it ready to go. We're just currently waiting for, people to watch the show.
Well, once they know that that's an option they have, they're going to be flying to the comment sections, especially whenever Seth is here. It doesn't appear to be working, Beards. Does not appear to be working.
Hang on. I'll do my work.
You do your work. I don't want to get hung up on it, but something that is in the works, and honestly, I thought we had to figure it out. If I'm being terribly honest, I really thought we were going to get it rolling right at the jump, and we're just not there right now. Let's talk about the Chiefs news from the day today. A couple of good things, a couple of not so great things. I'll give you the good news on the front end because that's how I think that's how I prefer. Do you guys like good news first or bad news first? If I say I've got good news and bad news, which one do you want first? What would you guys say? I think I might actually be a bad news first kind of guy.
Yeah, get it over with, get it out of the way.
Yeah, tear off the Band-Aid. Beards, you a good news first or bad news first kind of guy?
Let's go bad news first.
You're bad news first kind of guy?
I'll agree in this situation. Let's go bad news first.
I just am curious in general. I think I'm probably a bad news first guy. I'm not going to be here, though, because I want to talk about the good stuff first. Rudy's made a face. Is it breaking news?
Maybe.
Well, Beards, I know you're doing a lot right now, but it's breaking news, Beards. I don't know what to tell you other than it's breaking news. We have rules. We live in a society.
Cecil Lammy, who is he's a member of the Pro Football Writers Association. He's digital talent for DenverFan.com Broncos, which made me kind of go like, I don't know, maybe this is like a Chiefs insider guy, but he's also a member of the Pro Football Writers Association, so he's got to be somewhat legit. 48,000 followers, follows under than 1,000. He has tweeted, I talked to enough people around the NFL to know that Philip Lindsay is going to get plenty of attention now that he's tendered original round restricted free agents. One person today told me Chiefs would welcome Lindsay with open arms and know what to do with him. Welcome Lindsay with open arms and know what to do with him are quotes by somebody, I assume, who would know one of these things. Now, what I am a little confused with, an original round tenders typically means you give up the round in which said player was drafted.
Correct.
Philip Lindsay was undrafted.
I don't know what that would upgrade to.
So I'm guessing maybe it's just a 7th round pick.
I'm not sure. It would be a $2 million. It's a $2.1 million cap.
Here's what I'll say.
Number.
If cap situation aside, let's just throw the numbers out. I would trade no draft pick for Philip Lindsay. That seems like the type of investment you should make in a running back. Is no draft picks.
Rudy, I went from being like, well, this isn't the most important thing for us to be talking about right now. I'm going to move on after Rudy finishes reading this breaking news, and just kind of being like, not annoyed, but just kind of like, that's not really news. To being filled with a seething rage. If the Chiefs trade for Philip Lindsay, whatever that, if it's just a 7th round pick, then I guess so be it. But to pay him,
it's a no round draft pick.
Well, then you're paying him the money that you just cleared by. Here's the bad news first: cutting Damian Williams today. They're freeing up about that much money by cutting Damian Williams today. The real thing there is just sort of the it's just sort of the principle of it all.
Mm-hmm.
The principle of it all being that the Chiefs appear to actually realize that you can get really valuable running backs, like quality running backs.
I agree.
Out of nowhere. Like Damian Williams, who became a Super Bowl hero and then today was unceremoniously released. Or like Darrell Williams, who was signed today to another one-year deal, an undrafted free agent who has done some good work and, is a fine quality running back.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
By the way, just for a quick update,
He was drafted late.
I've got the video figured out.
Late in the first round.
The Twitch chat.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's up there now. It is. However, the thing I had to do. You remember how we added the little thing to make it an opaque background?
Yeah.
That was making the entire thing opaque. So we literally put it up there and it was invisible.
Well, we should have made the whole thing opaque. Let's not talk about this on the air. It's not going to be very interesting.
But anyway, you can see it now.
But you can see it now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Hi, everybody.
We're still working on it.
It looks fine, for the record.
Yeah.
Looks fine.
Yeah.
Except for Z-Man's name. I assume because of the yellow.
Oh, that is a good point. Interesting.
Beards, here's the issue. All right, listen. This is my last thing. Because Beards, your chroma key is on the color of Z-Man's name, not the color of the background.
I just got rid of it.
But you could also make it the chroma key of the thing on the background.
I thought we did that.
There we go.
It must not have Taken?
Okay.
Starring Liam Neeson.
Oh,
what about Taken 2?
There are also 2 types of gray there, Beard, so I think this is going to be a longer... This right now is fine. It looks great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the news of the day.
Taken 3?
You do your thing.
Starring Liam Neeson. I'm not even talking about Philip Lindsay. If it happens, it happens. I'm going to have an aneurysm on the radio. It's fine. But they cut Damian Williams today. And Nate Taylor tweeted out that Williams was stunned to hear that he was being released and that he anticipated that he was going to be back in this season, be a member of the Chiefs again. He opted out of the 2020 season, saying that it was because his mother had recently been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and he wanted to be with her, take care of her, and also not put her at risk with, COVID going on. An extremely...
Very reasonable.
An extremely, compromised immune system there with his mother. I also don't know if there is news on his mom. I'm not sure. I apologize for not having anything
My
on that.
guess is I never heard anything, which probably means it's no news is good news. I mean,
that seems right.
She's just going about her life.
Hopefully that's the case. But so anyway, he opted out last year after I think it was Jason Anderson that tweeted his final touch as a Chief came in that 38-yard touchdown, the run to immortality, as Mitch Holthus so artfully put it, to seal a Super Bowl. He opts out of the next year because of his mom and COVID concerns and all of that, and then gets released before he has a chance to rejoin the team this year. It is a arctically cold business, just frigid to the bone. Freed up about $2 million, a couple $100,000 in dead cap money that they're going to have to take with it. $2 million that I imagine, I think could make the case without too much trouble that Damian Williams is probably worth about $2 million for the Kansas City Chiefs specifically, especially whenever you know how last year went. Last year, they go and sign Le'Veon Bell, who at no point was as productive for this team as Damian Williams was. He's got 10 playoff touchdowns, which I believe may have him, other than outside of for non-quarterbacks, I think may lead Chiefs history in playoff touchdowns. I saw someone tweet that. I have not fact-checked it. But when's that ever gotten me in trouble, just saying things on the radio without fact-checking them first? Never.
I can't think of a single time.
I actually can't either. Really. But, because Seth Keysor, who will join us shortly, had tweeted whenever that news came down that he thinks that he'll find another spot to land where he could go be with a team that values his route running ability, his pass catching ability, and his pass protection ability. And the only thing that I could think of as I was reading that was, like the Chiefs? Like, because those are all
somebody different.
Those are all things the Chiefs have been lusting after constantly, and trying to get Le'Veon Bell partway through the season was not a successful version of trying to find Damian Williams' production, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire was never utilized for any of those traits last year. He got the carries, right? He ended up with a whole bunch of yards and everything, but the Chiefs never seemed to fully trust him in pass protection. That was a Darrell Williams thing. And if you think, hey, Clyde's the guy on first and second down, and Darrell's the guy on third down, and you've got Darwin Thompson, who I still think is a capable third running back and is doing it at a much cheaper value, which I personally obviously have a tremendous amount of appreciation for a running back on a cheap deal. I get it. Like, I understand how you make the case that, yeah, just go younger and all of that. But within the grander picture of how the Chiefs have spent their assets at the running back position, I'm really confused. Because they had Damian Williams on a pretty good veteran contract for a guy that seemed to do every single thing their offense could have asked for, other than, I guess, stay healthy, but that's not why you cut him today. And they spent a first-round pick on a running back, which is a thing that you, at this point, if you're listening to this show, flatly should not do.
By the way, Damian Williams has 6 career postseason rushing touchdowns, which is twice as many as any other player in Chiefs history.
Wow. What about, he has 10 total, because he also has 4 receiving touchdowns. I don't know if you've got a total number there.
Williams now owns 10 total postseason touchdowns, which extends his own Chiefs postseason record. I'm just looking, I couldn't find a page that just had Chiefs playoffs, but KSHB had 41 superlatives from the Chiefs Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going through that.
The Riley Wood on Twitch said there must be a limit to the amount of Williamses you can have on a roster. Trent Williams confirmed. That's a great question. Maybe. Listen, if that's the case, get rid of Darrell, and Damian. You say, did he say Darrell twice? I did.
Yeah.
There's another Darrell Williams. There's a lineman.
Had 6 heading into this previous postseason, had 6 receiving touchdowns, or 6 total touchdowns, and that was second to Damian Williams.
So he probably, whatever he added this year, he did not have 4, though.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is Damian Williams.
What do you know? There's also a Chad Williams, a receiver that is on the Chiefs, on the Chiefs roster. Sorry, Chad Williams. We got to make sure we have enough Williams budget for this roster right now.
We're running out of W, I's, and L's for jerseys.
So that's the running back news. We're going to, I want to get out of here so you have time to talk to Seth. We'll maybe dig in a little more on that later on, but that's the running back news. Taco Charlton back on a 1-year deal makes all the sense in the world. Also now noting that the only defensive ends that the Chiefs currently have on their roster with any sort of significant NFL snaps are all 3 Michigan guys, and just 3. It's just the 3.
I didn't think about that.
All Michigan men. Go blue, I guess. I don't really care. Frank Clark, Mike Dana, and Taco Charlton are the only 3 defensive ends under contract at this moment with significant NFL playing time. Tano Passanio is a free agent. Alex Okafor's contract was voided out this year. Tim Ward is on the roster. Damon Harris is on the roster. Those guys I'm not counting them with significant NFL work. Those 3, they're still gonna have to add an edge. Romeo Okwara ended up going back to the Lions. He was kind of a sexy name to pair with the Chiefs. I think they're gonna try to figure out their offensive line and still take an edge in the first round. Maybe not if they're not able to get Trent Williams or someone somewhat comparable. But that makes all the sense in the world in terms of having a defensive end there.
Very much.
The one other piece of news that happened today within the Chiefs here, Andrew Wiley got tendered, probably an original round tender, which means he'll make about $2 million. Depth guard, that's fine.
Made sense because they've already moved on from 3 of their starting offensive linemen. Like you just said, and in reality, in a way, they moved on from 4. Obviously, Allegretti is on the team, but they signed a guy to play his position. It makes sense you're going to have somebody there, right? Like you can't just let everybody.
You've got to have some human bodies to play the position.
I guess Oakland would say you could, but
so Rodney Hudson got released today. I'm keeping an eye on this very closely. The Raiders cut Rodney Hudson today.
It's interesting.
One of the best centers in football still. I think he's going into his age 32 season coming up here. He was not as good last year by pass blocking grade. I understand that. They cut him today, not even really buying themselves any salary cap space.
Nope.
Very weird. What it might be, though, is I saw some people point out, Seth tweeted about this as well, the Raiders just have cash flow problems. They've just had cash flow problems for a while.
Yeah.
So having a little bit of just money to get out of the books, maybe that's a move they would make. It's really embarrassing, though, and if that's the case, no NFL owner should have cash flow problems. That's inexcusable. But
it's all those expensive haircuts.
That's probably
Mark Smith loves.
That's Mark
Davis.
Mark Davis. You know his famous dad, Al Smith. But I think Rodney Hudson
is a Missouri basketball player. That's why I just got confused.
I think Rodney Hudson would make a lot of sense for a little one-year reunion. Maybe it's a 2-year deal with some fake money at the end. Also, Trent Williams is still actually in play. Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports tweeted this afternoon, 49ers remain extremely committed to re-signing Trent Williams. There's flirtation with the market, KC at the top, but San Francisco continues to make its push. So especially with the moves they've made to continue moving some money around, they have not yet extended Tyrann Mathieu, which I still expect to show up eventually. They could free up another $10 or $15 million just this year if they do, in fact, do that with Tyrann Mathieu. That'll be really, really interesting to keep an eye on in these hours to come, days to come. We'll talk about Trent Williams. We'll talk about Rodney Hudson. We will talk about Joe Thuney with Seth Keysor of the Chief of the North newsletter and The Athletic next here on Almost Entirely Sports.
Want more Almost Entirely Sports? Watch the show live on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook page.
It's been called incredible. A car lover's definition of nirvana. The Aristocrat Motors pre-owned department. Choose from over 150 cars, sports cars, SUVs, and trucks. Enjoy the finest, most professional buying experience in the city. Aristocrat Motors has the car that will work for you and the car that will fit your needs. From Alfa Romeo to Volkswagen, they're your home for quality. Aristocrat Motors, I-35 and Shawnee Mission Parkway, or online at aristocratmotors.com.
Championship Barbecue is now available at your fingertips with the new Joe's Kansas City Barbecue online ordering app. Place your order for the legendary Z-Man or Rocket Pig sandwiches, slabs of ribs, or a burn-end dinner right now. It's just a few clicks from your smartphone, and your order will be hot and ready for curbside pickup. The new Joe's Kansas City Barbecue app is perfect for a weeknight dinner with a family or feeding your entire office. So don't wait. Download the brand new Joe's Kansas City Barbecue app today.
With spring approaching, it brings new sounds. Birds chirping and dripping icicles. KC will be in full bloom soon. What better time to get outdoors? Your hometown friends at Bushnell are here, and we want you to enjoy this time of year and share your passion for the outdoors. Camping, target shooting, hunting, or heading out to the ballpark. Bushnell has what you need to get outside and enjoy the spring season. Visit the Bushnell factory outlet or check out bushnell.com to see the latest assortment in binoculars, rifle scopes, rangefinders, and more.
Are you buying a diamond in 2021? Well, don't compromise on quality. Diamonds Direct lets you get the most rare, precious, valuable diamond at a great price. And let me tell you something. I love going to Diamonds Direct, and my wife loves when I go to Diamonds Direct. Isn't that a shocker? And the reason we both love it is every diamond at Diamonds Direct was hand-selected, certified by the world's top gem labs, and held to the highest quality standards. These are not internet diamonds. No second-rate stones. No cloudy or hazy or dull diamonds. No inferior cuts. And another great thing about Diamonds Direct is there's no middleman process and unparalleled buying power. It means they can guarantee you better value. You don't have to compromise. Where else can you get such a high-quality luxury item and be assured of the lowest price? Better product, better people, better warranties, better overall experience. Diamonds Direct at 119th and Row. And tell them Stephen St. John sent you.
Hi, this is Justin Cole, Private Wealth Manager at Creative Planning. Over the last few years, we have grown to one of the largest nationally recognized wealth management firms in the country. While we are proud of our success, we are most proud of our Kansas City roots. We were founded in Kansas City and remain headquartered here because there's no place we'd rather be. We are Kansas City strong. Thank you, Kansas City, and thank you to our clients. If you're not a client, we invite you to reach out for a free, no-obligation financial review. You can find us at creativeplanning.com or by calling 913-338-2727.
Hi, this is Tamara Day of HGTV's Bargain Mansions. Watching the tournament in style these days is from a sweet space at home. If your entertainment space needs some fine-tuning, enter the Madness Makeover Contest for your chance to get my design plan and hook up with what it takes to make your space great, worth over $9,500. Brought to you by Nutter Home Loans, myself, and my store, Growing Days Home.
No purchase necessary. Visit 810WHB.com/makeover for rules and your chance to score. James B. Nutter & Company, DBA Nutter Home Loans, NMLS 2067.
Now it's time for very serious football talk with the man who met his wife on a blind date, chaperoned by his parents.
They actually came along on the first date with us. That was a...
No!
I rode in the back seat. I was 22.
The man who needs to take a minute to remember the names of all of his children.
Do all of your kids have the same first letter?
No, actually. Let me think. Do any of them? Tucker, Mason, Cole, Isabel, and Lucas.
The man who can defend you in court, but will probably choose not to.
I'll cop to this on a public setting right now. I am an aggressive cuddler in a consensual sense.
Comma, officer.
Good grief, he's a pastor too? When does this guy sleep?
You will find Seth Keysor everywhere except for in his or your bed, because not only does he not sleep, he's also a faithful husband. So that's important.
It's Seth Keysor of The Athletic on Almost Entirely Sports.
It's the rare early show, mid-hour conversation with Seth Keysor, because as we were trying to coordinate our time earlier today, we were both terrified of some enormous piece of news breaking at a time that we would simply not be able to do anything about. So we will talk to Seth right here, right now. On a Seth Keysor Tuesday that has a lot going on, Seth, we are right now in the thick of it in terms of all of the little pieces of news following a very big piece of news yesterday, maybe preceding another big piece of news or two. How have you enjoyed this very chaotic couple of days?
I've enjoyed it a great deal. It's been a little stressful. I just want to know, I just want to know what the plan is. And now that, here's the problem. When free agency started, Chiefs fans would have never dreamed the Chiefs could possibly land Joe Thuney and Trent Williams. And anyone who said they could do both, everyone was okay, It would have been greeted with derision. And now, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be disappointed. And that's how much the tables have flipped the last few days. I will say this. When Brett Veach recognizes something as a problem, they do not mess around in their attempts to alleviate it. And so that's been interesting to watch, that incredibly aggressive nature. And I'm just curious because I know Kyle Long is on his way to Kansas City right now for a visit, which I think would be an excellent signing. I understand he's been out of football, but word is he's in shape. He was a good player before going out, and guys like that, they generally don't come back unless they think they got some juice left. It's not like he's terribly old. So they're just being very, very aggressive. And like I said, we're at this point now where anything less than the, some version of the 2003 offensive line, right. And I'm going to be a little sad at this point. And that's what hope does to you. So yay.
I will be distracted down this road before we'll get to the Joe Thuney thing. There's the film review that Seth's already got up on the Chief from the North newsletter. I'll tell you this right now, Seth. The first thing I did this morning, it was not get out of bed. It was not go make some coffee. It was look at my phone, make sure I hadn't missed anything, and then read the film review while laying in bed. It was a really pleasant experience. It really kind of added to the whole just have Seth explain the intricacies of football to me while I'm literally just in a warm blanket. I would recommend that Chief of the North newsletter experience to anyone. But we'll get to Thuney in the film review in a second. Because I just saw this tweet from our friend Sterling Holmes. It just says, "This is what Rodney Hudson would look like in a Chiefs uniform," and it's a great Photoshop, man. It looks like Rodney Hudson really used to wear a Chiefs uniform. It's very well done by
skill
Sterling.
I did not know Sterling had.
It's really.
I mean, the man can barely operate a cell phone.
Yeah.
Or take a picture. I've had to walk him through how to take a picture on a cell phone before, but apparently he knows Photoshop.
He's multi-talented.
That's very impressive, and I believe it. Yeah. And then there's another one. The Raiders are just, it's bad and also really funny.
Yes.
It just, basically what you're seeing, I think, and I could be wrong here, I think it was Mike Clay who said
right.
this.
Yeah.
Where he pointed out that while the Raiders only save a little bit of money against the cap, they save $9 million in cash by cutting Hudson. And I just got to tell you, I think occasionally we forget that this is not monopoly money because it feels like it is because of how flexible the salary cap is. But there are cash considerations here too. So when the Chiefs restructure Patrick Mahomes' deal and Chris Jones' deal and Travis Kelce's deal, and we're all sitting here thinking, oh, this is how it's going to affect the salary cap over the next 5 years. Clark Hunt, in the meantime, is writing like, oh, well, here's an $18 million check. Here's a $10 million check. Here's a whatever. And, I mean, Clark's not hurting for cash as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
But it says something about the realities of ownership in the NFL, and Amy Trask often talks about that, where she had framed it that, like, if your owner has deep enough pockets, the salary cap becomes much more flexible because you can kind of buy your way out with cash spending to an extent. Obviously, there's a limit, although the Chiefs are apparently looking to discover said limit. So I've decided this is what I'm going to go to sleep ready to be disappointed if the Chiefs' offensive line next year is not. Trent Williams will go left to right. Trent Williams, Joe Thuney, Rodney Hudson, Kyle Long, Lucas Niang. And I have now spent enough time thinking about that offensive line that even if let's say they manage to land everyone but Rodney, I'm still going to be a little disappointed. And that's what free agency does to us. It's a wonderful illustration into the gaping black hole that is greed. And so it's been a lot of fun overall, is my short version there.
I think if this offensive line doesn't include some of those guys and then Will Shields and Willie Roaf, I'll be disappointed. Like, that's sort of where I've worked to at this point. Is that if there is a pressure allowed in 2021, I'm going to be livid.
Well, and just let me tell you, if they've got Trent Williams and Joe Thuney and Rodney Hudson as their three guys right to left from, center to left tackle, they might have games they barely allow a pressure because I'm telling you, she said it's been a long time. So in 2017, I believe it was, Mitch Morse's last year that coincided with one of LDT's best years, and Schwartz was in town. And Fisher was in town, and had improved, and they were doing really well. And for the life of me, and I feel bad, was that Jeff Allen's last year as a Chief? I can't recall who was at left guard.
He had kind of a false start in terms of his Chief career, so I will not shame you for not remembering for sure.
Yeah. Hey, he got a ring though.
That's true. Absolutely.
That's all I care about. He did get a ring. Good on Jeff. And his wife makes incredible cookies, so I mean, I'm sure he's not complaining.
Feels like he won the lottery.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, oh, she runs a cookie shop. That dude is going to weigh 600 pounds by the time he's 40, and he'll be a very happy guy. Yeah. So anyway, so they had a good line that year, but the Chiefs fans haven't seen, because there's been some issues on the interior. We've never seen a really good top-to-bottom offensive line with Mahomes in town. And you and I have talked about that a little bit, like in terms of, Schwartz has been terrific. Fisher is a good left tackle. Not a great one, but a good one with the occasional inconsistencies. But the interior has kind of been in flux during the Mahomes era, and it could get pretty crazy if you ever watched Packers games last year. And Aaron Rodgers is obviously great, but you could see the difference.
Yeah.
In terms of time in the pocket and what it looked like, and I want that for Mahomes, and it seems like that's what they want for him too.
I'm curious, before we get into the specifics of Thuney, the misstep, honestly, I think that I made was that what you just described has been the Chiefs' plan, where I've said many times on here and on Times Ours and on any microphone that I've been able to find, I've said that the Chiefs have clearly, over the last several years, have paid and valued their tackles, and they paid LDT, but it's predominantly been, you find your Colecchio Similes and your Austin Riders and your Andrew Wileys and just, that general kind of class of guy that you can have patch up the middle of your offensive line. And then it was Mitch Morse at center, and then it was Austin Ryder, and that was a downgrade. But generally speaking, I took the past as being prescriptive of what their plan actually was going to be this year, which is why Thuney was honestly not on my radar. Of kind of the three blue chip guys, Thuney would have been the third on my list, just in terms of who I was expecting kind of positionally. So in more of the abstract, what did you think? And again, this is, let's say, they don't end up with Trent Williams. And if they do, all the math changes for me. You can, archive the podcasts and come talk to me again tomorrow. But in kind of the abstract, what did you think of them going for the guard from that group, and also just, I mean, that being the first place that they really unloaded the bank account this offseason?
Well, if I were a betting man, I would say that they probably didn't make an offer to Lindsley, which is, like you said, you've got the three blue chip guys.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one of the best centers in the league, if not the best, in Lindsley, one of the best guards in the league, if not the best, in Thuney, and then one of the best tackles in the league, if not the best, in Trent Williams. Unusual year in free agency, right? To see that caliber of guys. I'm guessing, just based on the contract that Lindsley signed for, that the Chiefs could have, well, we know the Chiefs could have beaten that.
Right. So they paid more than that for Thuney.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of an interesting thought. Let's say they lose out on the Trent Williams sweepstakes. You know, people might wonder, you know, would they have been better off going for Lindsley and trying to have a dominant interior line? You know, those are questions people can ask. But my guess would be this, that the reason that Thuney went first might not have been necessarily because they prioritized him first. Because keep in mind, there were rumors flying about Williams before the Thuney thing just flew in out of nowhere.
Right.
My guess would be it's that the Niners are putting up a bigger fight than the Patriots did for Thuney. Now, the reports were, you know, how was it framed? The Patriots were in it until the end. And Thuney was a guy the Patriots wanted to keep. Make no mistake. They franchise tagged him last year in a year where they kind of punted the season, in a sense.
Yeah.
And I think in part because they wanted to keep him around. And he was awesome for them last year. Does a lot of things really, really well. And they tried to keep him and retain him. Maybe that's why they've gone on this spending spree. You know, it's like, you know, you didn't get the video game you wanted, so you go out and buy like 6 other video games or something, hoping you'll feel better. I don't know. So I'm guessing that's probably more the reason, and that's because Trent Williams is a tackle. And that would be my guess in terms of prioritization. Had I picked priority-wise, you know, one player that I suggested was Lindsley, just because the price would be a little lower. If I had my druthers in terms of who I'd want the most, it would go Thuney, or it would go Trent Williams, then Thuney, then Lindsley. But they're just such blue chip players, you can't go wrong with any one of them.
So if you want to read along with this in real time, or you want to check it out later, you can go to the Chief of the North newsletter right now, mnchiefsfan.substack.com. This one, because Seth hates money so much, is free for everyone to read. And I would, again, recommend just get under a big pile of blankets and just read it like a bedtime story tonight if you'd like. You went through a handful of Joe Thuney games. I said Thuney. Yep. Damn it. I've been so good about saying Thuney. The whole show yesterday was about tune puns, and I blew it.
Sure.
I can't read his name and then say it out loud.
You tried. Everyone has an off day.
It's unbelievable. Well, yeah, it's just that I have so many of them.
The rate Brett Beach is going, he might replace you now.
But you can read this all on the Chief of the North newsletter. You dove in, and what did you find most interesting from your Joe Thuney film review? Whenever you dove in Thuney film,
I'm going to start off with a player comp. And it's a player comp that that people who have read my stuff or followed us along over the last few years are going to probably gasp when I compare this player.
Yeah.
If I were to compare Joe Thuney in terms of how he wins, I would say he is a stronger but slightly less athletic Mitch Morse. That was really good.
I was conducting an orchestra in here while you were saying that. It was.
yeah. No, I figured you wouldn't disappoint me. So everyone knows I love Mitch Morse. I love the way he plays the game. He's also a really good guy. He makes the all-good dude team, and he's an excellent center. And what I always talked about with Morse, and this is where the comparison comes in, is he always did everything absolutely right. His hands were always in the right place. His feet were always perfect. He never really got taken off balance because his base was always so great no matter the situation. If he lost initially, he always fought to reestablish position and was able to recover really well. It was just constant with him that he was almost always technically perfect. And I loved watching him because of that. Thuney's the same way. When he's asked to pull and get in space, he always gets to the right spot. It's almost, there's something machine-like about it, where it's just, you can just see the work. if he loses initially at the snap, the way that he resets his feet to ensure that he doesn't lose his bounce and keeps driving while maintaining a good base and not getting thrown or staggering anywhere. There's a clip in the article that I wrote where Aaron Donald, of all people, who Thuney kind of became more of a household name after playing really well against Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl. Donald throws him aside to start the snap, using essentially a kind of fake to his right to get Thuney moving off bounce, and then using his off hand to punch him to the side, similar to what we see Jones do, shoving guys aside with their inside shoulder and then just sprinting by him. Well, Donald does it just like Jones does, except he's even better at it because he is a freak of nature. And any other guy would be done for. But by the time Donald's starting to move to the inside, Thuney hasn't lost his bounce because he's got such great feet, and he's already planting his left foot to recover. Now, again, these things are hard to describe. So look at the article. It is open for everyone with some buttons in there that encourage subscribing if you would. And these things, it's not like this was just a highlight of his because he recovered to push Donald wide and allow his quarterback time to throw. These aren't meant to be highlights. They're fun plays to watch, but they're meant to demonstrate traits that he showed snap after snap after snap after snap. You've known me long enough to know that when I chart a player's loss and win percentage, I'm looking for 10% or less consistently from a starter, and you know, I'd like better. You know, 10% is like that's your line. Like, okay, I can handle it if you're at 10%, but below is obviously better. His ended up, it was like in the 4 games I charted, which included a variety of different types of opponents, and, you know, one of them being the Rams with a great line. He was at like 3% loss percentage. He just never, he rarely loses snaps. Every now and then, because he just doesn't get the footwork perfect, whatever, he can be overpowered. He's not Quentin Nelson in terms of just being a bear, but he is technically as sound as any guard or interior lineman I've ever watched or charted. It's a similar thing. It looks so different, which is why I didn't make the comparison, but it's similar to like Mitch Schwartz at tackle, right? Where it's always perfect. But it's just machine-like in both pass protection and the run game. He played awesome in the games that I reviewed. He's not a perfect player. There's no such thing as the perfect player, but he is exceptional and looks like a cornerstone type offensive lineman.
I want to be kind of careful about how I phrase this because I'm not trying to like lead you to just some particular element of this. But I mean, you've seen through tweets and a couple of texts we've exchanged and whatnot. My general mood on this is essentially kind of lukewarm. by no means am I livid, right? They added a really good player that's going to make their offensive line tangibly better at a price that will get kicked down when the cap goes back up again. That all tracks for me. For me, the main thing is that we're in the middle of an incomplete offseason, and so I'm more worried about the left tackle spot than I am excited about Thuney. I think that's kind of, and maybe center also. I think that's kind of the disease that I'm currently dealing with. So if you have a very optimistic view on this point, I would be happy to hear it. I'm curious how much good you think he can do, how much one individual elite guard really can move the needle, what he can allow the rest of the offensive line to do, how he may impact potentially at least either a young tackle or a young center. And because it is I think our friend Ethan Douglas referred to it on Twitter as the offensive line is a weakest link group, which I think makes a lot of sense, but also having stronger links might make that job easier for some of the weaker ones.
Sure, you can protect one weak link for the most part schematically, as long as it's not too weak, because I view the offensive line as a weak link group as well. You and I have talked about that. It's a lot like cornerback. The thing is, the difference between cornerback and offensive line is you can't scheme up to hide a corner as well because they're out in space. Right? Whereas an interior, and you can't scheme up as well to hide tackles because teams, they're not bunched up together. Teams can isolate guys on the perimeter. Your interior, if you've got a guy who's really terrible, it's tough to cover that up consistently. But if you've got a guy who's just kind of mediocre and he's surrounded by a pair of good players, that's a little bit different. Okay, our center and right guard aren't quite as strong, so we're leaving this left guard constantly one-on-one. We're going to let them deal with doubles. Well, he's going to help them deal with stunts and twists because he understands exactly when they're coming, and he'll kind of clean up when you see some mistakes. There's a reason why Austin Ryder looked significantly better when he was swapping in for Mitch Morse than he did as a full-time starter. And one of them is because LDT was playing really well that year. And as LDT's play went a little bit downhill and then some other guys got swapped in at guard, Ryder's play fell off. There is some symbiism there. And so it can certainly help. You clean up mistakes, you keep your eyes up, all those things, staying busy, looking for work. Thuney's very good at all of those things. You also help prevent when we've talked about pass protection or pass rush issues, we've talked about the cumulative effect of multiple pass rushers. Yeah. It's because, let's say, if one pass rusher is only going to win 20% of the time at most, but another guy wins 20% of the time, odds are they'll win on some different snaps. Mm-hmm. And so now suddenly there's pressure 30% of the time.
Right.
That can be helped with a rock-solid guy at left guard where, suddenly there's one position you're not worrying about, right? Mm-hmm. And so, okay, well, we can roll that way. We can do a few things there to send help elsewhere. So it can help. On its own, it won't be enough. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's going to be kind of a sum of the parts. They still need to grab a left tackle, in my opinion. And if it's Trent Williams, I feel great. If it's Villanueva, if it's Riley Rafe, I mean, these are guys that I would feel pretty good about too. Mm-hmm. And allow that side of the line to take a step forward rather than a step backwards. Okay, if you had either of those guys next to Thuney, you're still going to be a lot better on the left side than you were last year. Then, let's say you bring in Kyle Long. So it is going to be a multiple-part fix. Mm-hmm. But Thuney is fortunately, at least as sure as you can know with any free agent, that he's a big part of the solution. And so there's a plug-and-play element there. So I would say I understand, not being too thrilled about any one offensive lineman, but I think what it represents and the ability to turn things around in an area that's been problematic, I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. If that makes sense. And me, I'm like an extremist when it comes to the salary cap. Mm-hmm. I've just seen too much. I get it. This year, people that have been preaching about the salary cap for years, they're loving this season. Right. Because finally they're right. Right. Finally the salary cap, which has always been real and it's always mattered, but just not as much as people think. Mm-hmm. But finally this year, it's almost as important as people think. Yeah. But is it still really that important? Because the Chiefs just signed Joe Thuney. Right. And are in the hunt for Trent Williams.
And they've got $20 million left, and they could free up another 10 or 15 if they want to extend Tyrann Mathieu. It's all there.
Right. Yeah. And so that's where I would say I'm excited about the direction it shows that they're going because they've gotten by with a good tackle pair and an okay line overall with a slightly weak interior for several years. And this to me is pointing to a new direction saying, hey, what if we gave our elite quarterback who already has Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill a really good offensive line? What would happen? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like one of those infomercial type things. We've given this Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, and now we're going to throw an elite offensive line in there. Let's watch. I'm excited about that to see what might happen.
I think I am very open to the idea that I have some real cognitive dissonance going on right now. I am at least that self-aware. I think the one thing that I have gotten a little bit sort of curious about and a little bit hung up on is in less of a salary cap conversation and more of a priority asset allocation, if that makes any sense. And again, I think that's the issue of this being their first move. If they signed Joe Thuney after signing Trent Williams or whatever, Villanueva or Russell Okung or whatever, and then also some center, I think I would not be having a lot of these same hangups. And I acknowledge that that's something that, that I'm dealing with all of that happening all in real time. But I can't help but think about the times that they have gotten away with sort of the average guard play. Do you think Do you think that there is something to elite tackles and then weaker interior working out? Or do you think that was more of an issue of just, hey, elite players will help you deal with less elite players playing beside them, like we were kind of talking about earlier?
I think it can help. I mean, I still, you can't end up with a couple guys that stink in the middle, right? But I think what we might have a chance to see, and it's all going to depend. They're probably going to be taking a risk here on Lucas Niang to see how he does.
Yeah.
I personally think he might do pretty well. I liked his college tape, even when he was hurt. But I think we might see the difference between 2 average guys and 1 elite guy in the interior versus 3 average guys. Because, again, you've got that, 3 average guys versus a pair of interior rushers. If they're getting beat more often than not, that's problematic. Whereas suddenly you've got one guy who finally is very rarely getting beat. Those other 2 guys can focus on more on doing their thing. And it can affect it. I get it, the allocation of resources stuff. I stress about that less because of my views on the salary cap. But I think, and again, and this is what I'm really hedging here, because it's going to partly depend on how the plan lays itself out.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you started to lay out. If they're able to make it come together, let's say and I don't know what the plan is for LPT. It's interesting they're still meeting with Long.
Yeah.
My understanding is Long's best work was always at guard, not at tackle.
Yep.
Although he has played tackle.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to bring him in for left tackle. That would be a big swing.
Yeah.
And I think they're already taking that big swing at right tackle. But if they make this all come together with like a whole plan, and I think you alluded to this when we first started, there's a plan here. Joe Thuney is not an end in and of himself.
Right.
It's Joe Thuney and Trent Williams, and hey, let's draft Landon Dickerson in the first round.
Right.
Some plan like that, or let's grab Rodney Hudson. I'm not saying knew he was going to get released.
Right.
I have heard the Chiefs were looking to upgrade the center position this year. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
And it sounded like they were going to let Ryder walk regardless. So you're right. There's something I feel a little bit, and it's why I'm glad that we got to talk about Thuney specifically. And again, please, for the love of anything, if you care about this football player, go to the Chief of the North newsletter, because Thuney we can evaluate now. I feel like I keep catching myself trying to grade a test that they are 30% of the way into at this point. And that's a me problem, not a them problem. That is a this microphone will turn on at 7 p.m. every weekday, not the Chiefs are done now and they're packing it in problem. So let me ask about a couple other things real quick. Emmanuel Sanders has reached a 1-year deal with the Bills for $6 million. That guy was rumored earlier, finalized while we were talking. We've seen a couple of guys land different places. Corey Davis, did he go to Jacksonville? Who ended up in Jacksonville?
Corey Davis went to the Jets.
He did the Jets.
Yes.
Someone's in Jacksonville. There, some of those moves have been happening, but there was a report from Diana Rossini earlier today that the wide receiver market has been pretty slow, obviously, that she was talking to a receiver that was dealing with that. Is that the biggest thing for you at this point? They brought Taco Charlton back on a 1-year deal, giving another body there in the defensive end room. He's not going to start opposite Frank Clark, I'd imagine. Where are you at in the non-offensive line division at this point?
Sure. That's obviously been really quiet. What I'm expecting them to do, and Veach said they would do this. I think we just thought he might be lying.
When's the last time that he lied
never
to us?
lied to the fans.
How
or the people
dare you
ever.
say Brett Veach might lie to the media?
We're seeing the evolution of Brett Veach because he honestly used to say a little too much
during
pressers. And he got more and more tight-lipped over time, and now he's actively spreading disinformation because you can bet they knew they were after Thuney, and not letting people know they were going after Thuney and Williams, I'm sure that was strategic on their part. So I would say I'm assuming they're going to be in on the wide receiver market. There's still a lot of names available, even after some of the more obvious ones got snapped up. And they're available for pretty cheap, and you really are in a position with that receiver market where once it dries up, the Jets have now, the Jets have splurged a little, and the Jags have splurged a little. You might end up with some player like a Juju Smith-Schuster or Curtis Samuel saying, man, I'm not going to get paid this year, rather than accepting one of these ridiculous 2 or 3 year deals for $5 million a year. I'm going to sign a 1-year deal for $3 or $4 million, which is a bummer, but I'm going to do it somewhere where maybe I'll get 70 quality targets from an offense that everyone sees. That is where I think the Chiefs can maybe do something, or you get a guy like a T.Y. Hilton or an A.J. Green who doesn't have a ton left in the tank, but they've got some left in the tank, playing for, a legitimate team.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say that. And T.Y. Hilton had some struggles last year for a variety of reasons, but I think he's still got something in the tank. So you might have someone who's willing to do headhunting for a year, too. I think they'll do that. Barring that, I'm pretty comfortable with where the team is at. The edge rushers are mostly gone in terms of help, the pass rushers. Maybe they see if like Melvin Ingram is looking to bargain shop or something like that you can rotate in because he can play. It's just more on a limited basis. So I would like to see them do things like that. A couple more of these bargain bin things. The big thing for me though, and someone always, I think you and I have talked about this, and it got phrased early on. You attack needs in free agency.
Yeah.
And you build your team through the draft.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs have a chance to do that this year, where if they can walk out of free agency, as much as we, starry-eyed hopes and dreams here, if they walk out of free agency, let's say it's not Rodney Hudson, which, by the way, Hudson being on the market helps the Chiefs regardless if they're looking for a center because it's another competent center on the market.
Yeah.
That just helps the team. If they walk out of free agency with let's say it's not Trent Williams, let's say it's Riley Reif or Rife. I can never say his name. I feel bad about that because he's in my neck of the woods right now.
Yeah.
But let's say they walk out of there with a competent left tackle who can play at a similar level to Fisher, a massive upgrade at left guard, a small upgrade at center, and they kind of stay the course at right guard, or maybe upgrade a little with someone like Long, and hopefully Niang looks good. You can walk into the draft saying, hey, we've got options.
Yep.
We've got options.
Yep.
And that's a big deal. So I think it really should be all about the offensive line for them right now.
I think that makes a lot of sense. If you want to read more about Joe Thuney, go to mnchiefsfan.substack.com, or you can go to bit.ly/SethHatesMoney, or you can go to all the links through his Twitter account at RealMNChiefsFan. You can also read his work up in The Athletic. We got an episode of Time Czars. I'm sure it will come out once some dust has settled. All right, everybody? You absolute animals. Once some dust is settled, we find out a few more things. I'm sure we'll have a Time Czars with myself and Seth and Nate Taylor. It's been a busy week.
Have people been asking you about that too?
Yes. Which I'm flattered by, but it's also like, hey guys, have you heard of this cool show called Almost Entirely Sports on Sports Radio 810?
Here's the thing. I want you guys to do a show because the second you guys do a show, the Chiefs will actually make another move. Like Trent Williams will not be signed until you guys do a show talking about the Chiefs hopefully signing Trent Williams.
Yeah, we were a little gun shy because I spent probably 10 minutes soliloquizing on how stressed out I was that they were counting on Fisher and Schwartz, and what was it, 30 seconds after I logged off that you guys, I was texting you guys
Yeah. I forgot. I mean, you and I have not actually spoken about them cutting Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. That happened 15 years ago. But because we're doing this earlier in the night, because of all of the news happening all around us, we have real clocks and real commercial breaks that we have to take. So we will circle back on that front perhaps in the next Time Czars at some point this offseason. Maybe we'll have time to talk about Damian Williams being let go, all of that. We'll have to circle back on that at a later date because we are far out of time here. Beards right now is actually on the ground throwing a toddler-like tantrum. It's hard to look at.
Just a normal day for Beards.
It's just Beards at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. Yeah. Seth, thank you as always. We'll talk again soon.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
We'll talk again soon. That's nothing. He hung up. Probably for the best. Yeah. Seth Keysor, the Chief of the North newsletter, mnchiefsfan.substack.com. Go look at his Joe Thuney film review. We'll take a break. Whenever we come back, we'll talk about some more of the Chiefs stuff that's ongoing, and hopefully at this point, fingers crossed, they'll just sign Trent Williams at some point during the commercial break.
You are listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Kansas City's favorite sports station, 20 years and counting. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
Premier Mazda of Kansas City, where you can save thousands on new 2021 Mazdas. All new 2021 Mazda 6 Touring, just $269 a month. Mazda CX-5 Touring for just $289, and the Mazda CX-9 Grand Touring, just $389 a month. The deals don't stop there. Get the 2021 Mazda CX-30 Premium Package for just $249 a month and as low as 0% APR for up to 48 months. Come to the #1 Mazda dealer in KC, Premier Mazda of Kansas City, home of the Premier Promise. Right past State Line and 135th or at PremierMazdaKC.com. See dealer for details.
Guys, have some free time? PRA Health Sciences is seeking healthy, non-smoking men ages 18 to 45 to participate in a study of an investigational medication. Volunteers must be available for 4 stays of 3 nights each and 1 follow-up visit. Qualified participants may receive compensation up to $6,000 for time and travel. Call PRA today at 913-210-5900 or visit us on the web at prastudies.com/Lenexa.
There's nothing like the sounds of your son learning to dribble, or the sounds of your daughter learning to tap dance. A local family-owned hardwood flooring specialist company wants to help you remember these sounds for the rest of your life with a quality wood floor. Acme Floor has been in business for almost 100 years and is so entrusted with its workmanship and quality of materials that KU and MU called them to build their wood basketball courts. You may not be looking for a basketball court, but Acme Floor can help you create the sounds and look you want in your home. From the floor at the Nelson Atkins Block Building, UMKC Swinney Rec, the stages at the Kauffman Center, to your kitchen. No project is too big and no budget is too small. If you're looking at laying a new floor, refinish or resurface your hardwood floors, why not call the best? Give Acme Floor Company a call at 913-888-3200. Acme Floor Company works with both residential and commercial customers. Go by their Lenexa showroom at 10100 Marshall Drive. 4-generation family-owned and operated.
What does your smile say about you? Are you happy, confident, friendly? Getting and keeping that smile takes work. Proper brushing and flossing daily, and drinking fluoridated water. Fluoridated water has been in use for 75 years and is considered the most safe, equitable, and cost-effective way to prevent tooth decay. A healthy smile means a healthy person and a healthy community. For more information, visit health.mo.gov. A message from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
NCAA tournament coverage on Sports Radio 810 WHB is presented by
Premier Mazda of Kansas City, the #1 Mazda dealer in KC, and home of the Premier Promise. Xfinity Mobile. Stay connected with Xfinity Mobile, the most reliable network with nationwide 5G included at no extra cost. Xfinity Mobile. Your wireless, your rules. Community America Credit Union. Powering the rise. And the Kansas City Steak Company. Taste it matters.
We've been known as one of the top-rated lawn and tree companies in the Midwest for over 30 years. And last year, our 5-star ratings grew another 400%. And I think I know why. This is Larry Ryan at Ryan Lawn and Tree. And for some, seeing is believing. It's one thing to hear me talk on the radio about our college-degreed turf managers, horticulturists, and certified arborists. It's another thing altogether to actually watch them practice their craft at your home. And that's exactly what happened last year. Working from home, our customers saw our Ryan Pros in action, and your reviews made me feel very blessed. Ryan Pros are not low-paid seasonal workers like the other guys hire. They are employee owners recruited from the best college horticulture programs in the country. Visit us at ryanlawn.com today and have a Ryan Pro out for a free estimate. I think you'll notice a difference the moment you see that clean red truck. That's ryanlawn.com.
Men, do you suffer from erectile dysfunction or Peyronie's disease? Has Viagra stopped working? Most ED cases are caused by plaque buildup, which causes blockages and restricts blood flow. Even Viagra can't get through. But thanks to the doctors at West Coast Men's Health, a revolutionary medical procedure is now available. Using acoustic wave therapy, this non-invasive, pain-free treatment breaks down plaque, restores blood flow, potentially reversing ED for good. And women, if your man has ED, talk to him about acoustic wave therapy and how West Coast Men's Health can help, regardless of age or medical history. Call 913-243-3200 to schedule an evaluation. Be one of the first 10 callers and qualify for the special $99 consult fee, normally $199. That's 913-243-3200. Or online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
You're listening to Almost Entirely Sports.
I've carried this Patrick Mahomes hype for a full-term pregnancy.
With Joshua Brisco.
I want to birth it into the world.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Thanks again to Seth Keysor for joining us live here last segment. Not that Seth's ever not live. He just also was today. Don't ask any questions. Whatever comments you think about putting on the Twitch, don't. Stop it. You can see your comments now if you leave them, I believe, on any of our platforms. If you can see the video right now, you can leave a comment and it'll pop up over on the little corner of the screen that I'm sort of, I think, gesticulating towards. And that's been fun. So we can, it's even easier for everybody just to interact with one another, even across platforms, if you'd like at this point. So bringing this show into just a new generation, a new dimension. I think there's a liner somewhere me saying that someday you'll be able to smell this show. I think we're one step closer to that. We've also, the thing we're talking about during the breaks now, ironically, is how we can make it to where you're able to hear us talk during the breaks, just exclusively for all of the streams and whatnot. And it's it is an ongoing concern. It is not yet solved. But we got the chat on the screen. Da-da-da, da-da-da. So there's that. The thing that we got to there with Seth, and I want to talk about some other Chiefs stuff here. I'll also continue to make my case for Rodney Hudson, which I'm guessing, honestly, based on what I saw on Twitter today, I'm not going to need to work very hard on. But the thing that last night I spent quite a bit of time kind of explaining that I'm generally lukewarm on the Thuney signing, mostly because, and this is short-sighted, and this is grading a test that is not yet finished. If your big move to fix the offensive line is to sign the best available guard, that is not in and of itself going to solve the problem. Joe Thuney is great, but he's not 3 great offensive linemen. He is not even single-handedly fixing the interior. He is fixing left guard, which, with Nick Allegretti last year, wasn't an apocalypse. It will be better with Joe Thuney. By how much? I don't know. Even if you take issue with the idea of me kind of throwing out, will it be 15 times better than Nick Allegretti because it's 15 times more expensive? There's a bell curve of some sort or whatever. There's a point of depreciating return or whatever. I totally understand that. That's fine. But you are giving a significant amount of your precious cap space to a position that is simply that one position. Quarterback makes everybody around them better. I think your linemen typically make the guy next to them better, I think is a fair way of kind of bringing that into the fold. But right now, the Chiefs have, honestly, if I go just by guys currently actively under contract, left tackle is Martinez Rankin, who never got on the field last year, despite the Chiefs needing some tackle help. And at center is Nick Allegretti, who has not played center in his NFL career and didn't even finish his college career at center. So the number, like those are the 2 spots bookending Joe Thuney at this point. He may make their lives easier, but not single-handedly. There is also a clip from Seth's article that, as I was reading it this morning, I was looking at, obviously, all of the video clips and reading the surrounding analysis. But there's one clip of Thuney against the Rams where he ends up dealing with a stunt, essentially, a lot of movement across the defensive line that was planned that way. And he is just, he's dealing with Aaron Donald for a little bit, and then I don't know who number 69 is. He looks extremely nice, but he just deals with it completely effortlessly, that he's helping, and then, the whole point of this was to get me distracted by Aaron Donald, and now all of a sudden number 69 is just sliding through over here, sliding through that hole in the offensive line. No. And he slides back over, pops him back out again, in the pocket for Cam Newton there remains. Anyway, the reason I bring that up, I saw that and I was like, oh, you know what? That's pretty nice. I like that clip a lot. And then Seth says, that's one of my favorite rep. It might be my favorite rep of Thuney's when thinking about the areas the Chiefs struggled last season. Because that's why it stood out to me also. That's something that we saw the Chiefs essentially bleep up way more often than you'd like to see from a competent, fully functioning offensive line. I think that there is a point of, again, diminishing return in terms of what a guard can do for you, even if it is Quentin Nelson, which, Seth said he's not Quentin Nelson, at least in terms of brute strength and just being able to grind dudes away. Like, even if it's Quentin Nelson, a hole at right tackle, a weakness at right tackle or right guard is completely going to be existing on an island. And then if you've got subpar play at left tackle and center, how much will those guys all work together? Into the Rodney Hudson conversation, though. I still don't really... unless it's just that the Raiders are cash poor, which is a crazy thing to think about. Because even coming out of a pandemic, NFL teams should not be struggling for cash. There's the cap struggles, which is, that you can only spend this much money by these rules in a certain year. And then there's simply having enough money to pay your players. And then we learned a little bit about this, specifically with the Raiders, around Khalil Mack, back before the Khalil Mack trade. It came up again at some point relatively recently, maybe even been around Mahomes' extension, where you have to put guaranteed money in escrow, which means the guaranteed money, the money that is guaranteed in a contract has to go sit somewhere, even if it's not being paid out until the next year. I think, by the way, Mahomes' rolling guarantees prevented Clark Hunt from having $500 million in a safe somewhere under his mattress. Yeah. But you have rolling guarantees, and so it's whatever, 30 every year, or it's 60 because you got 2 years or whatever. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's a lot of money, but it's not all the money. The Raiders have had issues with that. In fact, it's one of the reasons that they almost certainly moved to Vegas. Like, hey, we're going to move to Vegas. We're going to make more money. I mean, it was to make more money. We're going to move to Vegas. We're going to make more money. We're going to be Vegas's NFL team. We're going to fill this stadium. What's going on? What about this pandemic? Oh, no. And even with TV deals and everything, Mark Davis should still have the money to pay Rodney Hudson without batting an eye. But it does seem like that's probably at play. The crazy thing, though, is that regardless, now this dude's a free agent. He signed a long-term deal 2 off seasons ago. They're going to have to just split his dead cap hit up over a couple of years. Otherwise, his cap number would actually go up this year unless they split it out over 2, which is bonkers. Here's the way that this is going to, even if he doesn't end up with the Chiefs, this is funny for Chiefs fans because we're talking about the Raiders. Cutting Hudson 2 years after he signed a long-term contract extension will carry a dead cap hit of $7 million in 2021 and $8 million in 2022, despite the fact that he only had a $9.9 million salary for the 2021 season. That's crazy. It's just, it is math that does not make sense in a salary cap world. Does it make sense in a cash poor owner world? Maybe. But in a salary cap world, totally bonkers. But you may ask, should the Chiefs genuinely try to go get Rodney Hudson?
Well, should they?
Yes. And then also, what should they be willing to pay for him? And that's a moving question. Beard, did you want to ask how much? Go ahead.
I mean, how much? Hold on, I got to move around. How much should they pay for him? It's a moving question.
You can barely hear the wheels of Beards' chair moving whenever he does that. He was committed to that bit. I don't think Twitch saw it.
No, I didn't put the camera on.
Do it again.
I should have.
Do it. Even if you don't have to yell it again, just put yourself on Twitch, just rolling around if you would, please.
How much money should they pay him, Josh?
I really just wanted an excuse to use the clip that function in the Twitch stream manager. So good work, Beards.
Thank you.
Rudy, you're looking pensive.
I have no, because I did not see any of this. It's all behind me, so I'm just.
Rolling sounds.
Yeah, it was a bad pun by Beards, and then I was like, what is he doing back there?
Yeah. You got to watch the Twitch stream, really. I mean, that's just got to, I don't know if you've got a Nuggets game up on your iPad or something, but you're going to have to put the Twitch stream up just to get all the jokes because your back is facing Beards.
I had the Twitch stream. I was on TweetDeck at the time.
And the first time, even Twitch didn't see it, honestly, so.
I've got 2 Facebook streams, a YouTube stream, a Twitch stream, the podcast, the Google Doc, Caster, and the Caster bot.
I can hear your Chromebook screaming for the sweet release of death right now.
When the show starts, like obviously when the show ends, I end up with a lot of tabs, but I always have when the show starts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tabs.
And they are doing some work. They're doing some work, those tabs. Those are not just a bunch of Google Docs and a bunch of
I've got
stories open in new tabs.
Yeah, both email accounts, 2 Google Docs, 4 streams. Yes, 4 streams, TweetDeck, podcast. And yeah.
It was also Marvin Jones Jr. that signed with the Jags earlier, by the way. I don't think I ever clarified that. That's what I could. The Jags and the Jets are basically the same at this point.
At this point, I don't need Caster still open. I got Caster bought.
There we go. Get one tab out of here.
We're going to move down to 10.
But anyway, I think they should be pursuing Rodney Hudson. Because here's the deal. I don't know what the number would end up being. If he wants to get around $10 million, which he just got cut for essentially, I could see the Chiefs coming up with like, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a 2-year deal worth $18 million with like 10 of it guaranteed. But maybe that's a $10 million signing bonus that gets split over 2 years. So essentially, it's a 1-year, $10 million deal, but it's 5 this year, 5 next year. That would be dead money if they don't keep him. And maybe he performs well enough where it's not a void year by any means, but it's a year that's kind of structured in a way that makes it more team friendly, or at least more team flexible. He will be entering his 32-year season. He'll be 32 years old when the season starts.
He's currently 31.
That's how I should say it.
He will be 32 when the season starts.
And again, Ben Baldwin tweeted that I think his pass blocking grade was like above 90 basically his whole time, at least in Vegas, and then it dropped down to around 70 last year.
Mm-hmm.
That if you think here's the thing. If you think that's an anomaly that's based on some other stuff going on or whatever, then you should be running to hand him a big briefcase full of money. If you don't think it's an anomaly, you think it really is him dropping off that far, he's still a pretty darn good upgrade over whatever else the market's going to have to offer, in a market where I think Austin Ryder is probably going to go be somebody starting center next year. It wouldn't shock me one bit if the Packers started Austin Ryder at center next year because they just lost Corey Linsley. It's not an insane like center draft class at this point, in my estimation at least. So all of the maneuvering to be done there, it makes as much sense for the Chiefs as anybody. Because here's the other thing. You sign Rodney Hudson this offseason. Your first-round draft pick, maybe it's an edge, maybe it's a tackle out of necessity, maybe it's a receiver, maybe it is either a tackle out of necessity or it's any other position, just because best player available, whatever, most impact. And then somewhere in round 2 or 3 or 4, you go, hey, I think this dude, for whatever reason, this dude is not as powerful, but he's nimble and he's smart. And I think that with a year with Andy Heck, this dude can be our starting center in 2022. You draft that guy in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round. Do not anticipate seeing him in 2021. And then Hudson either retires after playing for a decade, or you cut him and carry that dead money. Or if he's incredible, then you can cross that bridge whenever you get there. But you can be grooming your center of the future without it being a guy that absolutely must play day one out of the box. That's my fear both for center and for the left tackle position. I'm a little bit afraid of them getting to 31 and saying, all right, well, we really need a starter at one of these positions right now. Because all of a sudden, again, we talked about this last night, you're painted into a corner. You're pigeonholed. You're caught trying to figure out, who can we get by with and without? Who must we take here to keep Patrick Mahomes upright? That's a really dangerous place to be working from. And I think the Chiefs know that. I'm not saying that as if Brett Veach is listening to this segment right now. You know what, this kid's got a great point. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a tackle and a center. Hey, coach, how do you feel about getting a tackle and a center? I was just listening to the radio, and I think it might be a good idea. I don't think that's happening. But
could be.
I think it's something that you should keep in mind listening right now. That it would make a ton of sense to at least I would say at this point it is mandatory that they enter the draft with either their clear-cut starting left tackle or their clear-cut starting center. I don't think you can have those two spots both be voids going into the year, because then you're just taking one in the first round and one in the second, and that's super dangerous. You're talking about Mike Rimmers maybe having to step in at left tackle right away. And then your left tackle is a rookie, your center is a rookie, and your right tackle is essentially a redshirt rookie because Lucas Niang is in the first year of his deal, but he's been working as a Chief for the last year because he opted out before last season. It's just a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of things to be very much aware of. And I'm confident that the Chiefs very much are. But I think it's why seeing Rodney Hudson get cut today, it's how you saw the entirety of Chiefs Twitter in one collective voice all go, oh, wait, what? Oh, for real? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Chiefs Twitter never agrees unanimously on anything. Anything. And I did not see one, even somewhat major Chiefs Twitter personality or anything say, honestly, I don't really want this. I don't think this makes a lot of sense. Bring Rodney Hudson back to finish his career where he started it, and I think that makes a lot of sense for everybody involved.
Come home.
Come home, Rodney.
Come home, Rodney.
I also just saw Bobby Wood strike out. He's a scrub. He's a fraud. They should outright cut him. They should DFA him. I don't even want him sent down. They should trade him for a bag of balls. Striking out. Come on. When has Patrick Mahomes ever struck out? Never.
Patrick Mahomes was a pitcher. Not as valuable. He doesn't play every game.
That would be really bad if he never struck out anybody when he was a pitcher. Maybe that's
No,
why
but he didn't strike out.
Maybe that's why he plays football.
He struck people out, but he did not strike out.
I'm bridging the sports metaphor to Patrick Mahomes as a professional because I'm not going back. Listen, here's the thing.
David Lesky just tweeted out, "Would like my money back after that strikeout." So the This Day in Sports account. I think it also is the same person who does Freezing Cold Takes.
I know about a stupid sports calendar.
Oh, I know about that too.
This one is just it's like on this day, on this day, and it's just sport clips, on this day and from whenever. And it was a week or two ago. It was on this day was Patrick Mahomes' 16 strikeout no hitter that he threw in high school against White Sox star prospect Michael Kopech.
If Michael Kopech walked into the studio right now and said, "Hello, my friends, I'm White Sox star prospect Michael Kopech," I would call security.
He's married to, I forget her name, but he's married to a reality TV star.
Now I'm interested.
Or they're at least dating. I don't know. It's possible they're not married. But he throws over 100 and had Tommy John last year, so he was not did not play last year. But he's one of the top prospects, or I guess I don't think he's really a prospect anymore. One of the top young pitchers in baseball.
I'm trying to Google him, but my internet's not really working out here.
But yeah, went up against Patrick Mahomes in high school and lost 2-1.
Trying to figure out who this reality star is, but I don't even know I don't know who any of these people are involved. So I feel like this one's just me taking her now.
Could be.
Here's the other stuff we're going to talk about here tonight. We've got Rudy got a Top Shot pack, which I'm very down to open this hour if you want. I don't know.
Vanessa Morgan.
I mean, not a clue.
She's a Canadian actress.
She could also walk in here right now and say, "Hi, I'm a top pitcher in the White Sox organization."
Let's see. She was
I've never seen this person in my life.
My Babysitter's Vampire on the Disney Channel.
Well, now you mention it.
She's in Riverdale on the CW.
Nah, I've not watched Riverdale. My Babysitter's a Vampire. I mean, yeah.
It happens sometimes.
You remember when Abraham Lincoln was a vampire hunter?
Do you remember when he was a babysitter?
People forget.
Daniel Day-Lewis was great in that role, though.
She was in the Shannara Chronicles. I watched that show.
I didn't. And if I didn't watch it, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
I need to only talk about things that I personally care about that are relevant to me.
Understandable.
Do you want to hear a good tweet, a good comment from Sam Darnold, or about Sam Darnold?
I did see that.
From Matt Lombardo on Twitter. Asking around on Sam Darnold, and the sense I get from scouts, coaches, and executives is that the perception of him among fans and some in media is significantly higher than of those inside the league. Quote, "He stinks, bro," says one offensive coach.
I just want to know who his offensive coach is.
You want to take some guesses? Somebody said Bruce Arians.
Stinks, bro.
He stinks, bro. Sounds very much like Bruce Arians drinking a Bud Light on the Super Bowl championship celebration.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Trying to think if there's a better one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
You think it's Adam Gase just trying to cover his own tracks?
It's possible.
I mean, you're forgetting the obvious one. It's Man Campbell.
Do you think he says bro?
Absolutely.
Is he a bro guy?
I don't think he's
Have you seen him?
I don't think he's a bro guy. Bro guys don't bite kneecaps.
That's kind of how I feel. I feel like Dan Campbell's way too hyphy to be like a surfer bro guy.
He may say dude, maybe.
Yeah, I think he thinks dude might be Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's chunky kneecap soup. I think Bruce Arians is such a bro, you know?
Sean McVay would say bro.
Sean McVay
That's
would say
solid.
he stinks,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, that's not bad.
He's not very good, bro.
That's not bad. I can't believe if you would have just had me play Mad Libs with this tweet, I think I would have said his perception from coaches is higher than those by fans and media, simply because I didn't know that anybody was out here really standing for Sam Darnold. I just didn't. I don't. Because, I mean, like we've talked about, maybe he's not the worst quarterback in the world, but apparently he stinks, bro.
Stinks, bro.
Can I get the breaking news sound really quick? Sam Darnold stinks.
Want more Almost Entirely Sports? Watch the show live on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook page.
The Tournament of Savings is at Robert Brogdon Buick GMC in Olathe. Get slam dunk deals on all remaining 2020 Buick models, including up to $15,000 off a new Buick Enclave or 32% off a new Buick Encore. Plus, they've got the area's largest inventory of 2021 GMC Sierra 1500s. You'll score big with Brogdon's outstanding selection, service, and savings. Visit Robert Brogdon Buick GMC on I-35 in Santa Fe and Olathe or at robertbrogdon.com. On select models includes all available incentives and rebates. See dealer for details.
Rick Edelman, #1 New York Times bestselling author and founder of Edelman Financial Engines, takes questions on his hit radio show. Let's listen to Rick help a caller who's saving for retirement.
Hey, Rick, how can I keep my retirement money safe?
By taking some risk. That sounds weird, I know, but when it comes to saving for retirement, if you try to keep your money safe, you're actually taking big risks. Savings accounts, well, they're not safe from inflation. They're not safe from taxes. There are, in fact, 18 different asset classes, and they all have different risks. So spread your money around, so no one thing can wipe you out. It's like having 12 eggs in 12 baskets. Diversification helps you manage your risk while still giving you the opportunities provided by the financial markets.
That was award-winning radio host Rick Edelman. Get help diversifying your portfolio from one of our financial planners by calling 888-PLAN-RICK or visit rickedelman.com.
There's no such thing as quality of life when you are constantly in pain. No sleep, no work, no play without the pain. Enough is enough. Stephen St. John here to tell you about the medical professionals at QC Kinetics who help patients take back their quality of life with bold new breakthrough pain treatments. These are regenerative cell therapies that precisely target the root cause of the pain, usually caused by old injuries and arthritis, back pain, hip pain, shoulders and knees, even sciatic nerve pain. QC Kinetics' new Gen therapies help restore and heal damaged tissue with long-term relief. No Band-Aid solutions. And they have amazing patient satisfaction reports. Best news? No surgery, no pain meds, and no downtime. Don't suffer one more day. Book your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Call now, 816-412-6299. Located right off 435 and State Line. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Hi folks, I'm Chris Yates, one of the owners of Victory Chevrolet. We are selling more cars and trucks right now than we ever have. That's why I'm asking you to give us a chance to buy your vehicle. Whether you buy from us or not, before you trade in any other dealership or sell your vehicle on Marketplace, give me a chance to tell you what your vehicle is really worth. No hassles, no games, no gimmicks. Simply text your name to 816-617-2717. That's 816-617-2717.
Small business owners don't have the patience for nonsense, especially when it comes to their internet provider. They want the best services for the best price. Simply put, that's Spectrum Business. They give you great value, zero nonsense. Just call 833-919-2121. You'll get fast, reliable internet and phone with no contracts and no hidden fees, all for a price that could cut your bill in half. Spectrum Business. Call today, 833-919-2121.
It's basketball tournament time, and Gomer's, a Kansas City tradition since 1969, has 5 great locations in the metro to get you ready for all the action. 4 in Missouri and 1 in Kansas. Nobody knows more about fine wine, spirits, and craft beer than Gomer's. Place your orders online for curbside pickup, plus Gomer's delivers in Missouri. Gomer's, your hometown liquor store.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Pop it, twist it, pull it, shout it, flick it, spin it, shake it, shout it, pull it, spin it, pop it.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
It's Top Shot time. Rudy got another pack of Top Shot today. Beards and I both struck out twice.
Yeah, dude.
And Rudy is here for a second pack.
There's only 5,000 packs were available in the stress test, which is when I got mine, and I was lucky to be 4,200 and something. So I was like, yes, gonna get a pack here.
I think it's really nice that a stress test finally produced something positive for you.
It's a great point.
Because it feels like
great point.
It feels like most of your life has been a stress test, and it's nice that this one ended up in a Top Shot pack.
Yeah.
So give me real quick here, Rudy, kind of the gist of what this pack. This was a $9 pack, I think.
Yes. So this is just the standard base series pack. Like this was
Series 2?
Series 2, yes. So obviously Series 1, Release 1 was the first. Siri got set off there.
Siri's also very excited about Top Shot.
Yeah, that's obviously where it all started. It's just base set, and that's what it is. It's a base set. It's got 3 moments in it. They're all commons. So like you can obviously find some valuable moments in here, but these are not like when we opened the Rising Stars one.
You knew you were gonna have one relative banger.
Yeah. So these are there are more possible. Like I think there's 123 moments that are currently in the base set. Each release they've added moments because part of that is in between when they release these base sets, moments happen in real life, and so like as big highlights happen, they will occasionally add them here and there. I would say I don't know, maybe 5 to 10ish every release, every drop.
Do you know who we're looking for here? Is there anything that you specifically are looking for?
Yeah,
You're a Nuggets
I
fan.
mean, just kind of going through. I'm looking through the base, through the checklist essentially, and rookies are always good because they're rookies obviously, right? So like this is some of their first memories, and so LaMelo Ball notches his first career assist, and James Wiseman flies in for earth-shattering hammer.
Which ball is he?
He is the little ball.
He's the little ball.
Who might actually be
he could be the biggest ball.
He might be the biggest ball, but he's the youngest ball.
All right, I was curious.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic.
Chaotic Warrior on Twitch mentioned that Patrick Mahomes is getting into the NFT game.
Yes.
I did see that.
It is.
The
It's not quite,
Museum of Mahomes.
Yeah, it's not quite like what Top Shot. I mean, it is, but it's not in that format.
I don't know enough about NFTs to nitpick. I'm gonna just say
it is
pretty much.
It is an NFT. It's just not like you buy a pack, and
right?
You get like.
Although
if
there was just Patrick Mahomes Top Shot.
So here's the thing, Top Shot just. Get in with the NFL.
It's happening.
Get in with MLB. My guess is I wouldn't be shocked if Top Shot themselves got involved with MLB and MLS, and then the NFL was just like, hey, we're going to kind of do our own thing here and take all the monies. I wouldn't be shocked there, but like this is coming. What is happening with NBA Top Shot is coming to NFL. It will come to MLB. It will come to MLS. It will come to NHL. And then probably college athletics. And
they won't make any money for it, of course. It'll be brought to you by Rocket Mortgage.
It will pay for a scholarship.
That's right.
One scholarship in the nation.
3 cards, 1 pack. Let's open it. Beards, hit the music. If you're not currently watching, you can start watching the show right now on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube pages.
I need to pull up the caster.
That would be nice, so you can see what's going on.
Oh, you got to see what's happening.
Because that is obviously there's less delay on the actual caster website.
That's true.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
I'll do the same thing so I can actually see. So I can be not behind.
Beard still has we're still a little behind, but I think we
like
found
a
out.
second or two.
I think we found out it was 2 seconds
as opposed to 6 on if you're watching through Twitch. Although if you're watching on Twitch and listening on radio, it should be pretty much the same.
Yes.
All right.
So obviously any Nuggets would be great. No Celtics. Celtics are whammy. Celtics whammy. But we're looking for, I would say, rookies and Nuggets.
And
ideally.
Phoenix Suns.
And of course, there's a LeBron James in here. So also, it's LaMelo Ball and LeBron James are probably the 2 biggest moments that I want currently. And then any Nugget.
Open the pack! We're not going to see all three at once.
No,
I know you have to open them
the
once
three
at a
little
time.
things
Okay.
will pop up.
Open the pack!
Open that pack!
Open the pack! Unless you did it 2 seconds
Open
ago
the
and the delay is
packets.
there.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I had a noise on my laptop. All right, ready? Left, right, or center?
Hold up, Bears.
It's still catching up. It's a little laggy.
Little laggy.
I don't think it's your computer. I think the Wi-Fi here is feeling the weight.
Little laggy, yeah.
I would suggest the middle one so we can see it clearly. To give me the clearest.
Yes, Beards, remember we need you to show no emotions, which
it would be
don't worry,
so hard for you. So difficult.
Let's go middle.
There's some complaints on the Twitch about the performance level of this so far, streaming wise. I
We
see
got
a Pacers logo.
A TJ McConnell assist.
On my birthday. A TJ McConnell assist on December 23rd.
Okay.
It is a very bad serial number.
Yeah. But it's TJ McConnell. He's hot right now.
It's an assist on my birthday. This card's valuable to me. I'll give you 10 grand for it right now.
Okay. TJ McConnell did just almost broke an NBA record.
Boy,
it is struggling.
It is struggling right now.
Oof.
Beards, I don't know.
I don't think there's anything I can do.
I don't know if your computer's built for this.
Because obviously it worked just fine last time.
It was a little struggly, but it's
not like this.
I wonder if the
This
chat
is,
is. You want to kill the chat, Beards, to see if that helps? I don't know.
This is
struggle.
Yeah.
Do you have anything
dropped
on
any
your
frames on my end?
Then it's your computer and not the Wi-Fi. Then.
No, I haven't dropped any frames.
I think that's a Wi-Fi thing.
Yes, Wi-Fi, not my computer.
Right. Wi-Fi hasn't dropped any frames, therefore it's not a Wi-Fi issue, it's your computer issue.
No, I disagree. Anyway.
Wi-Fi, you just agreed with me that Wi-Fi frames being dropped is an internet thing. And if it's struggling like this and you haven't dropped any frames, I think it's probably a computer thing. Do you have an estimation for the price of the TJ McConnell card right now, Rudy?
I do not, but I can in a second.
I would love to know.
I can have it very quickly for you.
I'd love to know what this is going for right now. Again, for
for
a serial number in the 9,500 range.
So TJ McConnell, let's just pull him up real fast.
I was going to offer you 10 grand. You didn't take it. I'm offering you $2.
I said yes.
I'm offering you $2.
No. I said yes.
Money's not been exchanged.
TJ. Why is no options popping up? His name is TJ
UNLV basketball coach TJ Altzlenberger is leaving the program for the same position at Iowa State.
Oh, boy.
Former Iowa State assistant.
I don't know if it's the website.
All right, I played with the setting. We'll see if that does anything.
If it's the Wi-Fi, but Top Shot is struggling.
I can't imagine this is a very valuable fake card.
Yeah, my guess is whatever its value is, it is right now is about
NFT stands for not effing tangible.
Is about its peak, just because he was relatively, in the news recently because of. Okay, why I can't? It's TJ McConnell, right?
Correct.
Then why is TJ
T.J?
Oh, yep, that's what did it.
Yeah, the basketball reference does the same thing.
Yeah, that did it. So, okay, here we go. So we got the TJ McConnell.
Stream's not frozen. Rudy's moving, you guys.
December 23, 2020. The lowest ask is $13.
I'll give you $7.
I can get $13 for it.
Are you sure?
10.
That's fine. Let's say lowest ask is 13. That's fine. Let's move on to the next one.
Top sale, $3,548.
Okay.
I got the serial number right here. I'm just going to get down to 9,500.
I'm going to say it's closer to 13 than 3,000.
I don't know, Josh. That's
Honey Makes Me Happy on Twitch says, don't be too hard on Josh. He's a sports guy, not a computer guy. I have nothing to do with this. I'm on an island.
Most of these.
It was your explanation.
Everybody's
disagreeing with you.
There are some very random, like 100.
No one's disagreeing with me. You said the thing you said conflicted. You conflicted with yourself.
You did. There are some randoms, like here's like over 100. Like one of them is just randomly.
That's fine. We're gonna say it's worth.
Basically, it's $20 to $40.
Great. Next card.
Left or right?
The pack was $9, by the way.
Yeah.
So Rudy's in the black already.
Yes, which black and the fake money. I'm not sure you get real money.
You're down $9 real dollars.
Left.
What's 14 plus?
Left or right?
Left or right?
That would be. I'm down like $23.
Left or right?
Let's go right.
Let's go right. Click to reveal.
Oh.
Beards?
Stop making.
It's a nugget.
Yes.
It's a Michael Porter Jr. dunk.
This is the happiest moment of my life. right?
That's kind of sad.
I'm actually so happy right now.
8,700. Oh boy!
And it's an assist by
from
Jokic.
It's a Jokic to Michael Porter Jr. alley-oop.
Oh, this moment couldn't have been better. Oh man.
I feel gross being in the same room as Rudy
man.
whenever he reaches peak sexual pleasure.
Woo!
Which is what is happening right now.
Serial number 8747. Nice. So
From
nice.
this day forward, 8747 is a sexual number to Rudy.
Nice. I mean, goodness.
It's priceless.
that
It's priceless. It
couldn't-
doesn't even matter. It's priceless.
I will put that on the mark. I'm going to put that up for sale.
For $1
and
billion.
I'm going to put it up for sale. The highest I've ever seen is $250,000. That's
Yeah.
always like, I'm putting it up for sale for $250,000. Somebody wants to buy it for $250,000.
I got a $2 bill I'll give you.
No. God.
It's in my wallet.
No.
I'd rather have
I
the
can go
TJ.
get it.
If you have 123-ish thousand more,
Can
of
you
those,
find the
yes.
approximate value,
Yes.
just the high and low
Yes.
of it?
Yeah. We said
Man.
87, right?
A Michael Porter Jr.
It is
alley-oop from Nikola Jokic.
So they're pretty much all of them in this area seem to be about the low is 50, the high is 150. So 50 to
Here's the
150.
thing. Here's the thing.
Not selling it. I will put
Diamond hands.
number 8797 is on sale for $250,000. Number 8747 will be on sale for $250,000.
Here's the thing. We've had this conversation many times about, like, why would you keep these if there's...
Michael bleeping Porter bleeping Jr. bleeping.
With Jokic also.
With Jokic getting the assist.
There
Which
is-
definitely is, like, the reason why it's not, like, $20.
There is...
Oh, it's just... I'm just watching. It's beautiful.
There's...
Like,
Yeah,
oh.
this is... Listen, if you...
I can do a giveaway. Like, I'll gift away the trash Celtics players I got.
Open the other one.
Except for Jaylen Brown.
God, that is... I mean, that I think Rudy's more excited about this one than the $2,000
Rudy,
whatever.
you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Third left one here.
To the left.
I can't believe Beard's made a noise.
I know. I was just like, oh, gosh. I thought maybe he messed something up, and then I was like, I don't know what's happening. Another Nuggets! A Jamal Murray three-pointer!
Wow, this is a video from Jamal Murray. What is this, an Instagram Live? Oh, God. Oh, no.
And it's a deep one, too.
Wow. Yeah. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Heck yes. Oh, and it's a buzzer beater. It's a buzzer beater. It's the first quarter, but it's a buzzer beater.
I think it's like the first quarter, but still.
That's what he
That's
just
what I
said. He
just
just said it. He just said it.
This, man, this was good. It was what, 3,000 there, Beards? About like in the 3,000
31.19.
31.19. That's a decent.
Jamal Murray pulls up from deep.
All right, man.
In gift form. Up, I said.
This is good.
Up. Not any other direction.
This is good. Jamal Murray three-pointer. I got 2 nuggets. I'm happy.
Rudy got 2 nuggets, everybody.
I got in my 2 nuggets. I got Murray, Jokic, and Porter Jr. It's pretty good, man. What was the serial number, Beards?
31.19.
31.19. So 31.23 is $220.
I don't wanna talk
So yeah, I
about-
would say it's anywhere between 150 and maybe 250.
I don't want to talk about your nuggets or Jamal Murray's nuggets anymore. Which one is Lonzo?
It was such a good. He's the oldest, the youngest, biggest. Oh wait, no, Lonzo's the oldest, smallest ball. I would actually say. And then Beer, so you can
That's
hit.
not true. The middle
Leanne-
ball.
no, the middle ball is tall. Is bigger than.
Okay, I was thinking more metaphorical.
I don't think he's taller, but I think
No,
he's...
no.
I was thinking metaphorically.
Yeah. Leangelo is like 6'7".
I was thinking metaphorically.
Lonzo's like 6'7".
Lonzo's 6'5". Beards. What are you talking about? LaMelo is like 6'7".
Beards,
6'8".
learn something about basketball, dork.
Beards.
Listen, I know you love
Lonzo's
baseball.
a short.
Okay, Lonzo's 6'6". Fine.
Lonzo's not 6'6", Beards.
I just Googled it.
Yeah, but like it also, if you Google what Kevin Durant is, he says he's 6'9".
Nice.
So view my progress.
I mean, this is... Whew. Yeah,
View that progress, Beards.
Credible Hulk 85 on Twitch said Rudy's 2 nuggets finally dropped.
There's 2 nuggets?
Click that view my progress button, please.
Oh, yeah.
3 times the charm.
Sorry, I was distracted
You're
by
fine.
jokes.
You're fine. Yeah, did somebody clip this?
Somebody else clip this. The computer. Clearly, we have used all the Wi-Fi in this building to make this happen for you.
Great point. Notable pull, Jamal Murray. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's a way to say it. He
achievements
certainly
right
had a notable pull.
I'm leveling up my baller status. I'm a rook. Nice.
Boy,
very happy.
This is
that honestly couldn't it could have gone better. Like there was a number one Lucas Doncic throws a pass behind defender's back.
What's his name?
Lucas Donk.
You just definitely called that man
Lucas
Doncic.
Luka has his a pass behind a defender's back, number one serial number that hadn't been pulled. So that obviously would have been amazing.
Do you want me to keep on this page or just go back to the video shot?
We got to take a break.
Yeah.
So let's do that, actually. Let's actually take a break.
I'm very happy.
Rudy, I did see, I think Jed left a cigarette out on the balcony. If you want to go out there and smoke that and try to get your bleep together before we come back
I don't
next
know if
segment.
I can, man. That's oof.
Rudy's gonna
What about as good as it could have went?
Rudy's gonna go smoke a cigarette,
Pretty
go for
good.
a jog. I don't know, make a sandwich.
I mean, I got 2 nuggets in there.
At JB Brisco, at Beards McFly, at Not That Rudy, at Sports Radio 810. Just do it already.
Whether you're looking for energy savings for the winter or updating your home office or man cave, One Stop Decorating is the place for beautiful, energy-efficient window coverings. One Stop Decorating offers free in-home or virtual consultations, or you can come into one of their 3 beautiful showrooms to see all the window coverings in their Hunter Douglas galleries. Ask about smart shades that can be controlled by Google, Alexa, and HomeKit. 913-270-0408, 913-270-0408, or onestopdecorating.com. Your home, your windows, your style.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel. Language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Paid for by Bank on Yourself. Would you get on an airplane if you knew it had a 50% chance of crashing? You may be riding that plane right now. If you have your money in a 401k or IRA and you plan to take out the recommended percentage each year when you retire, your chance of running out of money is 50%. 50%. But there's a better and safer way to secure your income in retirement. Discover how in a free book called Rescue Your Retirement. This wealth building strategy has never had a losing year in more than a century. In fact, even the man who invented the 401k now prefers this method instead. Get Rescue Your Retirement free for just a small shipping charge and enjoy a safe landing and a comfortable retirement. Get this free book and make sure you don't run out of money. Hurry, this offer is extremely limited. To get your free copy, just go to growwealthsafely.com. That's growwealthsafely.com to discover how to rescue your retirement. growwealthsafely.com.
The NAIA Men's Basketball National Championship is just around the corner on March 18th through the 23rd downtown at Municipal Auditorium. 15 games over the course of 5 days as we crown the 83rd NAIA Men's Basketball National Champion. Catch all the excitement as single-day tickets start at just $20. For ticket and championship information, go to NAIAHoops.com today. The NAIA Men's Basketball National Championship, a Kansas City tradition.
Hey everyone, Les Norman here, host of the Breaking the Norm Show. Since '95, I've made KC my home, and since then, I've seen a World Series champion in 15, a Super Bowl champion in 20, and the greatest fans supporting both. It's the people that make me proud to call KC home. You're passionate about your teams and each other. During this crazy time, keep caring for and loving each other. And thank you for making KC not only the greatest sports city, but also the most caring and helpful place to watch sports. Stay healthy, be safe, don't panic, and keep loving each other well.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm attorney Mike DiPasquale. After a car wreck, the last thing you want to do is trust the insurance company. These insurance companies try to rip off good people every single day. My law firm won't let you get ripped off. We'll fight to get you all the money you deserve, and you don't pay us a dime unless we win your case. If you've been hurt, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this. All you need to know. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
You're listening to Almost Entirely Sports.
He can break every bone in his body, and I'll be happy as long as it's not the back.
Cut that, Beards. Cut him saying Michael Porter Jr. could break every bone in his body and he'd be happy, and then just don't include the last part.
But the context.
Oh, context, please.
Yeah.
With Joshua Brisco.
He can break every bone in his body, and I'll be happy.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I'm trying to figure out why on NBA Top Shot is it usernames aren't like, I mean, you can whatever, you can search it out. It's fine. I have no cards at the moment. But I was trying to upgrade or update my username. I've tried twice now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not allowed to make my username at JB Brisco because it says it is inappropriate.
Yeah, with that being said, if you know what, let's just do it right now.
Is it because Briss is in there?
What
like a ceremonial
yes, a snipping.
Snipping?
Yes. That's the only thing I could think of.
I mean, let me try to change my name to JB Briss, I guess. That's fine. JB Briss, SC at the end. Fine, actually. JB Brisco. Inappropriate. Why? I'm just JBB, which is fine. I like a little 3-letter. If I could change all of my, ads to just being at JBB, I would take it. It's a nice, little PTI kind of 3-letter bing bang boom.
Yeah.
But it's just very strange.
Yeah, if you go though to if you just essentially go to NBATopShot.com/user/not that Rudy, mine will pop up. I wonder though if you can just go.
So if you go to say the URL again.
I'm gonna try because it might be like a YouTube thing where you have to put in the word user, but but where user pops up, but you don't actually have to put it in. So yeah, if you just go to NBATopShot.com/@not that Rudy
with the @ sign in the URL,
it says airball. Never mind. Give me a second. I think it is. You do probably have to have the user.
So if you go to NBATopShot.com/user/@not that Rudy, you can see Rudy's Nuggets.
Yes, that works this time. So go to.
It's not an airball now.
NBATopShot.com/user/@ with the symbol not that Rudy,
and you can see Rudy's Nuggets.
Yes.
It actually says you haven't started any showcases or placed any moments for sale yet.
I have not. So like a showcase.
Oh, you can click moments though. And
yes. If you go to moments, you will see like my moments. But then there are like showcases which is basically like maybe it's like I can make a different Nuggets, right? One where like it's just all of the different Nuggets moments.
Rudy, just call it Rudy's Nuggets.
Rudy's Nuggets, and it just cycles through my Nuggets. If you want to see all of Booker's sons, just cycle through that. If you want to see franchises that have some racial issues, I'll post them there as well.
I don't know why, but whatever you said about your Nuggets there, really, like I felt like I got kicked.
Cycling through them.
I feel like I got kicks in Rudy's Nuggets there just then. That really took the air out of the room. Oh my goodness!
I thought made the air a little bit better.
No, I would disagree with that assessment.
And hey, there's some other cool things like there's challenges on here and stuff. If you got the money to go buy all these moments to complete a challenge, you get like special moments. I don't have the money to go and buy all these necessarily buy these moments to get the special moment.
Can we have a conversation? Can we have a serious conversation? I know it's going to be a tough pivot.
Maybe.
So the Claude on Twitch said, going to get my B-dubs. I got garlic parm nugs in case you were wondering and some fries. Beard said their fries are pretty good. Chaotic Warrior says, at least you know boneless wings are just nuggets. Claude said, I harbor no illusions. They are nuggets and they are delicious.
I'm all right with that.
Can we have a really quick, honest 60-second conversation
It's
about
gonna be
boneless
quick.
wings?
We'll try.
I don't inherently value food more that has the bones in it.
Yeah, I prefer boneless. It's easier to eat.
I love chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Boneless wings are chicken nuggets that are sauced. They're just sauced chicken nuggets. I totally get that.
It's just easier to eat.
But if you said I can only eat sauced chicken nuggets or traditional wings for the rest of time, I would just, I like the chicken nuggets.
It's just easier.
If I could only ever eat bone in or bone out chicken as like a category, I don't need it. Here's the other thing. I don't really enjoy being reminded that I'm eating a creature that was once alive and had bones. Like, that doesn't add to the experience for me. You know what I mean?
Maybe a little for me.
Well, as we've established this hour, you have some very strange perversions.
You are listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
If you're between the ages of 18 and 39, here's an amazing deal for you. You can become a young professional member at Tiffany Green's Golf Club. Monthly rates starting as low as $150 a month with unlimited golf, unlimited cart usage, unlimited practice range, member discounts, and much more. So get your friends and coworkers and join in on this amazing plan and start growing your friendships while enjoying the game of golf. Whether you come out and play as much as you can after work or enjoy the day on the course on the weekend, take advantage of the Young Professionals plan at Tiffany Green's Golf Club. Go to TiffanyGreensGolf.com. Mercedes-Benz is the automotive manufacturer that stands above all others. And in Kansas City, the Mercedes-Benz dealer that has been named Best of the Best is Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City. Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City in Kansas City, Missouri, Overland Park, Lee Summit, and Olathe. Your local Mercedes-Benz new and used car, truck, and SUV dealership. If you're looking for a new vehicle or a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, your source is Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City, 1/2 mile east of 135th and State Line, or online at mbofkc.com. The Kansas City market's #1 volume certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan. Our family has been a loyal Mercedes of KC customer for years. Stop in at MBKC of Kansas City and see why we love them so much. They take pride in their vehicles. They provide great customer experience and satisfaction. MB of KC is your local Mercedes-Benz new and used car, truck, and SUV dealership. 1/2 mile east of 135th and State Line on Highway 150.
Reed Buick GMC, your veteran-owned, family-owned Buick GMC dealership in Kansas City for over 31 years and counting. The biggest rebates of the year and 0% for up to 72 months on Terrains, Acadias, Canyons, and all Sierras. Don't buy some other dealer's leftovers. We have hard-to-find 2021 GMC Sierras, Yukons, and Sierra Heavy Duties arriving daily. Reserve yours today. It will show up wrapped in plastic with your name on it. Check us out at ReedBuickGMC.com. Reed Auto Group is values-driven.
Men, do you suffer from erectile dysfunction or Peyronie's disease? Has Viagra stopped working? Most ED cases are caused by plaque buildup, which causes blockages and restricts blood flow. Even Viagra can't get through. But thanks to the doctors at West Coast Men's Health, a revolutionary medical procedure is now available. Using acoustic wave therapy, this non-invasive, pain-free treatment breaks down plaque, restores blood flow, potentially reversing ED for good. And women, if your man has ED, talk to him about acoustic wave therapy and how West Coast Men's Health can help, regardless of age or medical history. Call 913-243-3200 to schedule an evaluation. Be one of the first 10 callers and qualify for the special $99 consult fee, normally $199. That's 913-243-3200 or online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
A KC tradition since 1957, Hereford House is a locally owned steakhouse that has served generations of Kansas Cityans. Hereford House exclusively serves certified Hereford beef, which has been proven to be naturally more tender and flavorful than other brands. All their steaks are aged 21 days, hand-cut daily, and grilled over an open charcoal flame. This process provides a wonderful aroma and delicious flavor that cannot be duplicated by any other cooking method. Hereford House, Leawood, Independence, Shawnee, and Zona Rosa.
Every weekday on Sports Radio 810, tune in to hear Kansas City's favorite local lineup. At 6 a.m., wake up with the Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bukaty. At 10, it's The Zone with Jason Anderson. Now at 2, get into the program with Soren Petro. And wrap up your day on Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco. Kansas City's hometown sports station. Sports Radio 810 WHB. Kansas City's favorite sports station. 20 years and counting. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Jim Basketball. Let's get you caught up in the NBA. Late stages, fourth quarter. Jazz up in Boston, 111-103, while the Knicks are holding on in Philadelphia in the fourth at 84-80. Set to tip off, it's the Blazers and Pelicans. Damian Lillard and Zion Williamson on display. You can hear it on ESPN Radio. NFL, the Giants and Leonard Williams strike a 3-year, $63 million deal, 45 of which is guaranteed money. Bills signing wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders. Quarterbacks finding new homes. The Bears and Andy Dalton. Tyrod Taylor to the Texans, and the Dolphins with Jacoby Brissett all on one-year deals. The New England Patriots continue to spend, this time with Hunter Henry. Tight end gets 3 years and $37.5 million. They've added 8 new players, some $240 million spent in all. Dan Graziano on SportsCenter.
Bill Belichick doesn't look at someone else's player and say, oh, here's what he's done, here's what we project him to do based on that. He asks the question, who is he for us? Right? So he looks at Matthew Judon, the pass rusher they signed from Baltimore, and has a very specific idea of how to use him in his defense. So that's sort of how he's been successful. And when he has gone out and spent money in free agency, it's usually been a hit.
The Jaguars busy as well, adding Shaquille Griffin on a 3-year deal, trading for Malcolm Brown, the defensive tackle, as well as signing wide receiver Marvin Jones for 2 seasons. NHL, Capitals are 3-0 against the Islanders this season. Tonight, they snapped their 9-game winning streak 3-1. Alex Ovechkin, his 718th career goal, and that's 6th all-time.
Hey, it's Greeny, and Monday we begin an enormous week in sports. It's March Madness and the beginning of NFL free agency. Don't miss a minute. It's me, Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN+.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Hey, Charlie, I am the co-host now.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
We've had a lot of fun here tonight, but it's time to get serious about March Madness. We've done a little bit of light bracketology talk, but now for this segment here this evening, we are going to go to Almost Entirely Sports' chief bracketologist to get all of the things we need to know about this year's March Madness. Chloe Brisco on the line right now. Hello, Chloe. First question for you. How have you been researching this college basketball season that I know you've been absolutely obsessed with this year?
How have I been researching it?
Yeah. I
haven't.
Oh, really? Wow, I'm surprised. What have you been doing in your free time then, other than just catching lizards and snakes and stuff?
Basically, that's it, catching lizards and snakes.
Okay, so if I don't know, and now Rudy, you're going to have to help me out here a lot on some of these team names that I'm going to absolutely not know.
I'll try.
Do you know, are there any lizard or snake sort of adjacent teams? I will say, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So. I think I see 2 on the right side of the bracket that could maybe cause a little bit of trouble. I don't want to get too into it, but I think Drexel and Florida both have a chance to maybe make a little noise. I'll explain as we go. Chloe, we didn't get to do this last year because there was no tournament last year because of COVID, but they're playing now this year. I'll give you, as we have in years past, I'll give you, the team location, the team name. You just tell me how you're feeling about it.
All right.
How are you feeling right now, just sort of going into it, knowing that you are, again, this show's leading college basketball expert, and that people will be betting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on your selections this year?
I just hope, I'm just going to pick off the mascots, and I hope that the mascots are right.
Listen, that's a better strategy than Beards had. I think Renee beat Beards, Dr. Professor beat Beards a couple years ago. So I think if you could beat at least one of us this year, I'd be absolutely thrilled. Well, let's start with the first matchup, and I'll tell you, usually the first team that I'll read will be kind of favored, but it's really all about the mascots, and we know this.
Real fast, Honey Makes Me Happy on Twitch asks, is this Josh's little sister?
No relation. Chloe Brisco.
Bracketologist.
Chloe Brisco with an E, actually. No relation. She's just a very good bracketologist.
Of ESPNE.
With an E, sure. So, Chloe, the first matchup is Gonzaga versus the play-in games here. I forgot about the music. Sorry. Thank you, Beards. Gonzaga versus the play-in game. I'll tell you this. Gonzaga is the Bulldogs. We don't really know exactly who they're going to be playing yet. Do you have any feel about Gonzaga, the Gonzaga Bulldogs at this point?
Well, I do love Bulldogs. Our neighbor has a Bulldog, so I feel pretty good about the Bulldogs.
I think that's a good feeling. We'll go on to the next one then. It's the Oklahoma Sooners against the Missouri Tigers.
Okay. What mascot is the Sooners?
Well, so they have it's a big sort of like old-timey prairie like covered wagon.
Okay. Well, I would say definitely the Tigers then.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Is Creighton just the Blue Jays? And their mascot is a Blue Jay. Do they have a wacky nickname?
I think there's just the Blue Jays.
Okay.
I think that's it.
So, and then UCSB, the University of is the Gauchos. We've figured out,
which is a skilled horseman.
Yeah, so we have the Gauchos versus the Blue Jays.
I'm going to go with Blue Jays.
I like the Blue Jays in that matchup as well. We have then Virginia versus Ohio, which is the Cavaliers versus the Bobcats.
Again, I'm going to go with, Bobcats.
Yeah, big tigers are just like that. A nice kind of predator cat like that. It's a good, strong mascot. Okay, so this one also, we don't really know who the teams are going to be, so I'll try to hedge my bet here. We have the USC Trojans, and they're going to play either the Wichita State Shockers, where your parents, my parents, no relation, went to college, versus the Drake Bulldogs. Again, one of those teams will play USC. Do you have a feel between, picking one of those teams versus USC?
I'm going to go ahead and go with the Shockers this time.
I think that's a good call. Then we have the Kansas Jayhawks versus the Eastern Washington Eagles. This is a tough one mascot-wise because it's a mythical bird versus a real bird.
I think just because it's Kansas, I'm going to go with the mythical bird.
I think that's also great. Okay, how about this? This one's a good one. We have the Oregon Ducks, the rare duck mascot in college sports, against the VCU Rams.
I really like ducks. Let's go with the ducks.
I love it. Good call. After that, we have the Iowa State Hawkeyes, which is a type of bird, versus Grand Canyon. Did we figure out what the Grand Canyon mascot was yesterday?
Oh, we did.
What's the Grand Canyon, Beards?
It's a big natural formation out in the west of the United States.
Big hole in the ground.
Yeah, big hole in the ground.
Yeah, they are the antelopes.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right.
All right, Hawkeyes or antelopes, Chloe?
I'm going to go with the antelopes.
That's a big upset, but it's a good mascot. Let's stay in this region. Let's go Gonzaga Bulldogs versus Missouri Tigers.
I'm going to go with the Bulldogs this time.
They're a powerhouse. I think this is a great pick. Creighton Blue Jays, Ohio Bobcats. Are they the Bobcats? Am I getting that right also? It's definitely their mascot.
Ohio University you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yes, Ohio Bobcats, yes.
Blue Jays Bobcats.
I feel like realistically it would be the Bobcat, in the wild, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the Blue Jays because I think they're cooler.
It's such good analysis. I mean, Jay Billis is shaking. It's just better analysis than anyone else can possibly give. All right, here's a tough one. We have the game that could be Wichita State, could be Drake, could be the Shockers, could be the Bulldogs against the Kansas Jayhawks.
Okay.
So you kind of either pick the combo of Shockers, Bulldogs, or the Jayhawks.
Did you say Shockers and Bulldogs?
Yeah, because the Shockers and Bulldogs are going to play each other, and the winner of that game here, with the way your bracket has gone, will play the Jayhawks. So it's kind of getting the combination of the Shockers and Bulldogs. From this point forward, I'm going to call them the Shocker Bulldogs.
The Shock Dogs.
Okay.
The Shock Dogs. I don't like that as much. Versus the Jayhawks.
Cool. Bulldogs?
Okay, so it's also the Shockers. It's Shock Dogs.
Shock Dogs.
Yeah, Shock Dogs.
Okay, so the Shock Dogs knock out KU in the second round. Then we have the Oregon Ducks versus the Grand Canyon Antelopes.
Ducks.
Ducks are just really good.
Smart.
Bulldogs, Blue Jays, Gonzaga, Creighton.
I guess I have to do the Blue Jays this time.
Ooh, Gonzaga goes down. And then they will go up against the winner of Shocker Bulldogs versus Ducks. It's a tough one.
Ducks.
A double bird Elite Eight out of that region. Incredible. I love the avian theme. Then we're going to have the Blue Jays versus the Ducks.
Ducks are cuter, so let's go with the Ducks.
Let's go with the Ducks. Oregon to the Final Four. We'll go down now where we are a quarter of the way through. Chloe, you're doing great. Of course, because of course you would be. This is your professional job. This is what you do professionally, of course. Michigan versus the play-in game there. Michigan is the Wolverines. They're going to play a team that we don't really know yet. So I guess just kind of let me know how you're feeling about the Wolverines at this point.
I think Wolverines are really cool, and I feel like they seem like they'd be a really good team.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty confident about the Wolverines.
I think it's great analysis once again. Yeah. Then they will play the winner of this game, the LSU Tigers versus the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. Their logo is kind of a dog, but I don't really know what a Bonnie is.
I think Tiger sounds cooler than the Bonnies.
I agree, and it sets up a great matchup next round that we'll circle back to. In the meantime, though, we have Colorado versus Georgetown. Buffaloes versus, what did we decide Georgetown was? I should know Georgetown.
Are they not the Bulldogs?
Are they also Bulldogs?
Yeah, they should be the Bulldogs.
I think their mascot is Bulldogs. I felt
they're the Hoyas.
That's right.
But their mascot is a Bulldog.
So we have the Colorado Buffaloes versus the Georgetown Hoyas, but their mascot is a Bulldog.
And this is important. Because they have an actual Bulldog, and they have like a little tiny car that the Bulldog sits in during basketball games and like rides around on.
Doesn't Colorado occasionally have a buffalo at their football games?
There's also there's also a picture of this Bulldog on or this Hoya on a skateboard wearing a chain.
That's pretty cool. All right, so do we like the cool Bulldog, which is actually called the Hoyas, or do we like the Buffaloes here, Chloe?
Well, there's been a lot of Bulldogs. I'm going to go with the Buffaloes.
Wow, what an upset. I think Buffaloes are great, and you're right. There's not a lot of Buffaloes here. I think it's a smart call.
This is a dog driving a car.
So we have two sort of humanoid mascots here. We have the Florida State Seminoles versus the UNC Greensboro Spartans or Trojans or something. They've got a Spartan helmet,
Did
it looks
you say
like.
USC?
UNC Greensboro?
UNC Greensboro, yeah, they are the Spartans.
So Spartans versus Seminoles in this category.
I'm going to go with the Seminoles.
Also from Florida, where you currently reside, which no one probably knew because you work remotely. You work from home, doing your professional job for ESPN-E. Then we have BYU versus either Michigan State or UCLA. This is another one of those tricky ones, Chloe, where Michigan State, the Spartans, are going to, brought to you by Rocket Mortgage, are going to play the UCLA Bruins, which is a bear, and they'll go up against BYU, which is like a cougar. No, I bleeped up.
BYU?
BYU.
Yeah, Cougars.
Cougars also.
Yes.
I'm having a tough time on some of these mascots. I'm out of practice. So we have the BYU Cougars versus the winner of the Spartans versus Bruins.
Yes.
Well, I think the Ducks.
The Ducks are not in this one.
Oh, okay.
This one is Cougars versus either the Spartans or Bruins. Pick one of those three teams, and I'm just going to roll with it.
Spartans.
Okay, Spartans advance. Then we have Texas versus Abilene Christian. Texas is the Longhorns. Abilene Christian appears to be some sort of wildcat.
I'll go with the Longhorns.
Longhorns advance. Then we have, this one is a tough one for the animal lover. The Yukon Huskies versus the Maryland Terrapins. I know how you feel about the amphibians and the reptiles. I also know how you feel about big fluffy dogs.
I'm going to go with the Terrapins. They're one of my favorites.
It's a really unique mascot as well. I can't blame you for that. And then we have the Alabama Rolling Tide. Their mascot is an elephant versus Iona, whose mascot is some sort of angry bird, I believe.
I'll go with the elephant.
Yeah, they're the Gales.
Yes.
Which is some sort of, I can't even remember, it's some sort of like religious
strong wind
drawback. Yes, it's a strong wind.
The Gale kind of looks like Abraham Lincoln.
Huh. Well, elephant beats Abraham Lincoln every time. We've all played rock, paper, scissors.
It's associated with the Gaelic language.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's a group native to Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of... it's spelled man, but I don't know if it's pronounced actually Mon. Might be pronounced Mon. Might be pronounced
Is it Jamaican?
Man. I don't know. It's in northwestern Europe, though.
Okay, Chloe, we're continuing in this region. Michigan Wolverines versus the LSU Tigers. This is a toughie.
I'm going to go with the Tigers.
Whoa, big upset with the Tigers advancing. Then we have the Florida State Seminoles versus the Colorado Buffalo.
I'm going to go with Florida Seminoles.
Wow. Then you have Michigan State Spartans against the Texas Longhorns.
This time I'm going to go with the Longhorns.
Longhorns advance. And then we have Terrapins versus the Alabama Rolling Tide, which is, again, elephant mascot, but their name's not the elephants.
Yeah, Terrapins go.
I think Terrapins have to advance there. Florida State Seminoles versus the LSU Tigers.
I guess this time I'm going to do the Tigers.
Tigers advance over the Seminoles. And then we have Texas Longhorns versus Maryland Terrapins.
It's got to be the Terrapins.
It's got to be the Terrapins. And then Tigers Terrapins to advance to the Final Four.
I'm still going to pick the Terrapins.
It's got to be the Terrapins. All right, up to the southern region, Baylor versus Hartford. It's the Bears versus, I believe, the Eagles? Hawks. It's the Bears versus the Hawks. Baylor versus Hartford. Bears, Hawks.
Let's go with the Hawks.
Wow, Baylor goes down in the first round. You love to see it. North Carolina Tar Heels versus the Wisconsin Badgers.
Badgers.
Badgers a great one. Villanova Wildcats versus Winthrop. It's a bird of some sort.
They're the Eagles.
Winthrop Eagles versus the Villanova Wildcats.
I'm going to go with the Wildcats.
Wildcats, I mean, they got to beat the bird, right? I mean, I think that's a good point there. Then we have the Purdue Boilermakers versus the North Texas, I think also the Eagles again.
Yes. Green Eagles.
Green Eagles.
Yes, Green Eagles.
Wow.
Which is important.
Okay, I'll go with the Green Eagles.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. They put the color so you know
So
exactly what kind of
something
eagle
extra,
you're getting.
Yeah.
I think Bobby would. Never mind. That was maybe a long fly out. Sorry, baseball. Don't worry about it, Chloe. We're gonna get back to basketball here. Texas Tech Red Raiders again, giving you the color at the front end.
Need it.
Versus Utah State, who I don't.
The Aggies.
Oh, they're also Aggies.
Yeah.
So we have Red Raiders versus Aggies. Don't ask me what either of those mean. I don't know.
I guess I'll go with Red Raiders.
Red Raiders advance. That's where Patrick Mahomes went to college, so that's a good bet.
It's a good, very good.
Is Colgate the Bears? Are they also Bears, Rudy?
I believe
Bear
so.
toothpaste.
That's
really
or
upsetting.
no, they're Raiders, but their mascot is a bear, right?
I
I'm
have
pretty
no
They are the
idea.
Colgate Raiders. I'm pulling
Okay.
it up. I for some reason I think their mascot though might be a bear.
That sounds like a fun kind of toothpaste.
Well, so we have
But
the
they are
Colgate.
the Colgate Raiders.
Here's the thing, Chloe. You have the Colgate Raiders, but they're going up against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Their mascot is a wild hog.
Oh no, it's not a bear. Is it Tom Brady?
Is it Tom?
It might be Tom Brady with red hair.
Is their mascot Tom Brady?
It might be Tom Brady with red hair.
Chloe, do
Josh,
you want-
I'm showing you a picture. It might be Tom Brady with red hair.
Chloe, do you want the wild pig or the toothpaste?
Toothpaste.
Whoa! All right, stunning. I didn't see that one coming. Then we have the Florida Gators versus the Virginia Tech Hokies. I know how you feel about both living in the state of Florida and also large reptiles, so I have a guess on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Florida Gators.
That's what I thought. Then we have the Ohio State Buckeyes, which is basically a seed, versus, what is this, Oral Roberts, which looks like some sort of, again, predatory bird.
I'm going to go with the Buckeyes.
Oh, sorry, Chloe. They're the Golden Eagles. I know how you feel about color animal, but it's
okay.
Buckeyes versus Golden Eagles.
No, let's go with Golden Eagles.
I think that makes sense. Then we have Hartford versus Wisconsin. We decided the Hartford was also Eagles of some sort versus the Badgers.
Badgers.
It's a great mascot. Wildcats versus Green Eagles.
We're going with the Green Eagles.
It's a great name. Red Raiders versus the toothpaste / the Raiders or something. We We have Red Raiders versus normal Raiders here, I think.
I'll go with the toothpaste.
Wow, what a run for the toothpaste college. I wonder if it'll end next. We'll see. Florida Gators versus Oral Roberts Golden Eagles.
Gotta be the alligators.
Gotta be those Gators, though. Badgers, Green Eagles.
I'll go ahead and go with the Green Eagles.
And a Cinderella run for 13 seed North Texas. And then we have Colgate versus Florida, toothpaste versus Gators. I don't know if you can brush an alligator's tooth or not, but that is your matchup
They need
here.
it, though.
I don't know. Chloe, I have a question about Gators. Do they need to brush their teeth, or is that what those little birds are for?
Usually the birds are only for crocodiles, so alligators, you'll just lose their teeth.
I'm the biggest idiot in the world, and you're the smartest person I've ever spoken to. That was such a better answer than I would have anticipated being possible.
Checks out.
So are you going Gators or toothpaste?
Gators.
Gators advance, and then Gators versus Green Eagles.
Ooh. I'm going to go with the Gators.
I think it's got to. Chloe, your Final Four, I don't want to spoil it till we get there, is really, really good. You're going to be very happy, I think, with your Final Four. Okay. I would like to also warn everyone, we're going into a 116 here. We have the Illinois Fighting Illini, and they're going up against Drexel. They are the Drexel Dragons. Do you like the Illini or the Dragons?
Dragon.
I didn't even need to ask. It's just good on Drexel for having the guts to be the Dragons. Loyola Chicago is some sort of dog, some sort of Sister Jean, they're the fighting Sister Jeans.
They're the Ramblers.
Oh, they're the Ramblers, but their mascot is a dog.
Their mascot is it's more of a wolf.
So anyway, sorry, Chloe, I hadn't asked you a question. So
its name is Lou Wolf. Is the name of the mascot. So a Rambler is it's a wolf type.
So we have it's a wolf type. We have Loyola Chicago Ramblers with a wolf mascot.
Rambler is actually two wolves standing over a kettle.
Okay, very weird.
What are they cooking?
Some Remus and Romulus stuff. It's very strange. Going up against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
I'm gonna go with the Yellow Jackets.
Then we have the Tennessee Volunteers against the Oregon State. Are they the Badgers?
Yes.
Their logo is
No, the Beavers.
Beavers. Thank you. I knew I was saying it wrong.
Yeah, Beavers. Sorry.
Do you want to go Volunteers or Beavers?
Beavers.
It's at some point you need to look at their logo, Chloe. It's just very funny to look at kind of an aggressive beaver.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of like it looks mad. What are you mad about?
It's ready to take on the world.
Yeah. Then we have the Oklahoma State Cowboys against the Liberty Eagles. Are they something else? Is there an adjective in there somewhere as well?
Liberty.
I really should have looked these up. Oh, they're the Flames. Excuse me. They're the Flames. They're the Liberty Flames with their logo's an eagle. Boy, they got to figure out. If you can't have your logo be your team name, you got to rethink some things. You know who doesn't have this problem? The Drexel Dragons. They're called the Dragons. Their logo's a dragon. Sorry, Chloe. Cowboys versus Flames.
I'll go with the Cowboys.
And then we have San Diego State versus Syracuse. San Diego State is the Aztecs, and Syracuse is the Orange.
Orangemen. Are they the Orangemen or just the Orange?
I think they're just the Orange.
I think they are just the Orange.
I'm just imagining just one singular orange.
It's one Orange versus a whole bunch of Aztecs. Do you like the Aztecs or the Orange?
It is just the Orange.
I'll go with the Aztecs.
Really upset. You were doing so well by picking the teams that had colors in them, and you got to a team that was simply just a color with no other noun.
But it's not the oranges. It's just it's an orange.
Should be the oranges. Yeah. What is Morehead State? Are they an eagle? This looks like an eagle. I'm scrolling down the tournament challenge thing. They're the Eagles. We have the West Virginia Mountaineers against the Morehead State Eagles.
I'll go with the Mountaineers.
Love it. Then we have the Clemson Tigers against Rutgers, who I should absolutely know the mascot of. What's happening in the
Scarlet Knights.
Scarlet Knights is pretty powerful. Color noun. Clemson Tigers or Rutgers Scarlet Knights?
I'll go with the Clemson Tigers.
Wow, I thought for sure that time. I'm not even going to pretend to know who Cleveland State is. If you could look that one up for me, Rudy, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, Cleveland State is... Oh, I used to know. The Vikings. I knew it was like a person, like a humanoid thing.
So we have the Cleveland State Vikings versus the Houston, what are they, Cougars?
Yes.
The Houston Cougars. Quentin Grimes.
I say that you
Quentin
could
Grimes,
say,
a 2 seed. What
you
the
could say
bleep?
the Houston Quentin Grimes if you wanted. It'd work.
Houston Cougars versus Cleveland State Vikings.
Let's go with the Cougars.
Cougars advanced. Boy, I clicked the little thingy to get some information on Houston. It's something about led by shot-creating guard Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, he's had a very nice year for Houston.
Then we have the Drexel Dragons back at the top here, Chloe, against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Dragons.
It's a really strong mascot name. And then we have the Badgers and the Cowboys. Oregon State, Oklahoma State, Badgers, Cowboys. Beavers, Cowboys. Beavers, Cowboys.
Yes.
Sorry, Beavers, Cowboys.
Yes.
Gotta go with the Beavers.
Gotta go with the Beavers. San Diego State Aztecs versus West Virginia Mountaineers. Aztecs, Mountaineers. Tough battle here.
I'll go with the Aztecs.
And then we're going to have the Tigers and the Cougars. Clemson and Houston. Tigers, Cougars.
I like Cougars better.
Here's what I was thinking, Chloe. It's kind of the underdog pick, really. Tigers are so mainstream. Cougars are kind of cooler than that. That's a good call. Dragons, Beavers.
Dragons.
16 seed Drexel.
That poor little beaver.
That's it. It never had a chance. Unless it could breathe fire, it never had a chance. And then we have Cougars, Aztecs, Chloe.
Let's go with Cougars.
Cougars, Dragons.
Oh, boy.
Cougars or Dragons, Chloe? Who do you like, the Cougars or the Dragons to get to the Final Four?
Oh, I gotta go with Dragons this time.
Okay, the Dragons, the 16 seed that makes it to the Final Four. All right, I'm going to give everybody a quick rundown here, Chloe. You don't have to make a prediction yet. Just take a deep breath. Can you take a deep breath for me? Deep breath.
All right.
We're on radio, so if you don't do it loudly, I can't hear it. That was Rudy. Okay, deep breath, very good. Here's where we're at right now. The Final Four has been set. We have the 7-seed Oregon Ducks against the 10-seed Maryland Terrapins. The 7-seed Florida Gators against the 16-seed Drexel Dragons. These are both going to be incredible. We've got these basically almost mythical angry reptiles on one side, and these sort of creatures of the swamp on the like cute creatures of the swamp on the other. Here we go, Chloe. Final Four. First matchup. Do you like the Ducks or the Terrapins?
We gotta go with the Terrapins.
The Terrapins vanquish the Ducks to the final game, the national championship game, out of the Final Four. Who will the Maryland Terrapins face? Chloe Brisco. Will they play the Florida Gators or the Drexel Dragons?
Florida Gators.
I think that's a very good call. I think that's a good read on that situation. I think Drexel's going to get all the way to the Final Four, and then the Gators are finally going to turn on the Dragons. Here, for your national championship, Chloe, I am also going to need a final score here, so just need 2 team scores. Maryland Terrapins versus the Florida Gators. You, Chloe, found maybe the only 2 living reptiles in this bracket, and you brought them to the national championship game like the future herpetologist that you must be. Do you like the Gators or the Terrapins, and who wins by what score?
Well, in the wild, alligators will eat turtles, so this time I'm going to go off of nature and go with the Gators.
Okay, and now what is the final score?
For the Terrapins, it'll be 40, and with the Gators, I think it'll be 54.
A slugfest that only some Gators and some Terrapins could bring to the table. Your bracket here being submitted, Maryland versus Florida, the Terrapins versus the Gators. The Gators are your national champions. If you'd like to compete against Chloe, you can go look for the Almost Entirely Sports bracket group on ESPN.com. I will tweet out that link again. Chloe, our resident chief bracketologist here on Almost Entirely Sports. Thank you very much. Also, I'm so sorry for keeping you up so long past your bedtime.
Yep.
Thank you, Chloe. Well, I'll talk to you sometime off the radio. Not because we're related, but because I need to get some more tips on my bracket.
Close personal friends.
Just friends that I need to get some bracketology tips from you on. I'll talk to you later and see if I can get maybe just some gambling lines from you, some lines you'd like to pick. Thank you, Chloe.
All right. Thank you.
Chloe Brisco, resident bracketologist here on Almost Entirely Sports, chief bracketologist here on Almost Entirely Sports, and a lover of all amphibians and reptiles. A bracket truly, I think I can say, like no other. A big day for dragons, terrapins, gators, and toothpaste.
Did you know you can listen to Almost Entirely Sports anywhere, anytime? Well, you can. Just search for Almost Entirely Sports wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, Kansas City, spring training isn't just for baseball players. You can lose those pandemic pounds and get into shape before the warmer weather hits, since it only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then, NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet and workout regimen to help you keep it off. Don't want to do it alone? NJ Diet is with you every step of the way. You'll be fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet offers live online video consultations, and they have a location right off 435, off the corner of College and Metcalf. Call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Or go to njdiet.com and lose the weight for good. That's njdiet.com.
Hey everyone, Les Norman here, host of the Breaking the Norm show. Since '95, I've made KC my home, and since then, I've seen a World Series champion in 15, a Super Bowl champion in 20, and the greatest fans supporting both. It's the people that make me proud to call KC home. You're passionate about your teams and each other. During this crazy time, keep caring for and loving each other. And thank you for making KC not only the greatest sports city, but also the most caring and helpful place to watch sports. Stay healthy, be safe, don't panic, and keep loving each other well.
Hi Royals fans, this is Dayton Moore. The very same experts who treat the Royals can treat you too. Whether you're into sports or into your kids, you can count on the specialists at the University of Kansas Health System Sports Medicine and Performance Center. From injury prevention to sports performance to leading-edge treatments, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Whatever it may be, you deserve the Royals treatment. For an appointment, visit royalstreatment.com.
If you drive a car, truck, SUV, or vehicle of any kind, you need Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. That's right. With the free Get Upside gas app, you can get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas. Nearly 3 million people have earned cash back with Get Upside just for buying gas.
I always use Get Upside. Some months I make $200 to $300.
I love getting money back for things I use every day. It's just free money for buying gas.
There's no catch. It's simple. And you get your cash back right away.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code OIL for a 50-cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Earn cash back on gas on every fill-up. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 50-cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL.
Indeed knows unexpected demand can stretch your business thin.
Leon speaking.
Like at Leon's Plumbing.
Sorry, quickest we can get there is next Friday.
To stay out of hot water, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Kansas City's hometown sports station, Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Danny Manning's our guest. You said you're interested in the athletic department job, so I'm curious, why? Why would you want to go back and take that job?
There are a lot of different reasons that I'm very interested in that position. And first and foremost is my love for KU.
When you want the latest on your favorite teams, tune into your hometown radio station, Sports Radio 810 WHB. You're listening to Almost Entirely Sports.
What are you laughing at, Beards?
So, Ken Taylor, host of the Outdoor Guys here on ESPN Kansas City on Fridays at 3, he texted me, do you also do duck noises? I do not.
I think you probably could learn to, right?
With Joshua Brisco.
Go
I
ahead
can
and give
do
us
it
one.
through a computer.
Go ahead and give us one really quick.
No, I can't do a duck
Just
call.
go ahead and try.
Here, ducky, ducky, ducky.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
It's just the best. It's just the best segment that we do every year. I feel like if we maybe the biggest loss just sort of from not having March Madness last year. Forget the tens of millions of dollars the NCAA couldn't make and then not give to its players. We lost that segment last year.
That's nothing.
We're back on the right track. 2021 is already better because we got that segment back. Truly, truly joyous. Thanks again to Almost Entirely Sports Chief Bracketologist Chloe Brisco. If you want to follow her on Twitter, you can't because she's 11. She needs permission from her parents before getting on Disney.com.
It's understandable. The Muppet Show's on there now.
It's too raunchy. It is sort of weird having a guest that I don't have. I can't be like, and you're gonna go read her Substack. Cool lizards I found today. .substack.com. That might exist, and if it doesn't, it might soon, actually. Okay, so here's what else we need to figure out over the course of tonight's show, and then we can try to make out some time tomorrow to finalize some things. Most years recently, we have done an almost entirely sports bracket of some sort. We need to figure out terminology.
As in, we make our own.
Correct.
Of whatever.
A bracket of things.
Yes.
We did a Disney bracket at one point one year. They did well.
Mm-hmm. Did a Marvel one, I think, 2 years ago or last year?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think we did one last year.
I think
The loss of the bracket
Yeah,
entirely.
We
did do a Marvel movie bracket.
Yeah, we did then the fast casual dining restaurant, like fast food, casual dining.
Did we make that one?
Yeah.
So we didn't make it. Somebody did it. And
That's
then
right. We did it on the
and then we
whiteboard.
filled it out. Yes.
I think we had Sterling help seeding it and everything. And we did it. Yeah. So here's a couple things. This is a conversation we could have had off air, but I think this is quintessential March AES. And if Trent Williams signs with the Chiefs, we'll
I have the breaking news sound effect ready to go.
We'll break in if breaking football news drops. So we have to figure out, what is the bracket going to be? What are the terms of the bracket going to be? I think we have a leader in the clubhouse, but we also have to figure out, is this going to be a bracket where the three of us each just vote at each matchup, or do we put it out for Twitter? Do we just put out a blank version of the seeded bracket and let people come up with their own entries, and then we just continue with our own? Or do we try to do that kind of how the Ringer did their video game character bracket and put out some Twitter polls? And I don't think we do it daily. I think we say, hey, each round of the tournament, you can vote on the poll questions and tell us which of these things you want to advance. Personally, that's what I'm leaning towards. I would lean in favor of a Twitter bracket that everyone can vote on. And then as each round of the tournament goes, each round of our bracket will go, and then I will, go into the graphic or whatever and advance the teams that advance and then put it out there again. Do you guys at least feel good about that, or do you want to just keep it in-house?
I like involving the people.
I do too.
I'd say we could put out a blank one, so that way if people wanted to fill it out and post their own version, they can.
Sure. First round would be that anyway.
But also then we would put up Twitter polls for each round, I think is the way we could do it.
Yeah, and then that's how they actually advance.
Right.
Is by popular vote. Do we have an electoral college? Do people who live, in Kansas City get more voting power than people who live in the suburbs or maybe in a different state, God forbid, another country? No? Popular vote? Fair enough.
No, I want to go back to this electoral thing.
So, are we the Supreme Court? Are the three of us the Supreme Court?
I think you're the president, I'm the Senate, Beards is the House.
Wow. I think that actually tracks. I don't know why I think that. Is it because I'm the easiest to get rid of?
You think you have power, but you really don't.
Yeah, I'm really just a figurehead.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the question then. And by the way, if someone brings this out on Twitch, another option or whatever, I'm down to hear some other candidates. But we got to figure out the terms tonight. I think. What is the category? What is the terms of the bracket? What do we want to be seeding 64 of? It's got to be something with at least 64, unless we do a smaller bracket, which is an option. But how are we feeling right now about some of the things that we've talked about in terms of candidates of what the bracket could be about?
So far, our candidate list is
Pokemon first gen or like all Pokemon. We've gotten onto the Pokemon. Pokemon is leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah, Beards was wanting the first 2 gens. I think that's kind of where we were at. Are we doing the first 2 gens? Are we just doing the first?
Do we feel good about a Pokemon bracket? First of all,
I think that works.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to make the case then, as the president, I guess, if I'm going to make the case for my thought on the Pokemon bracket, I'm willing to back off on the overthought idea of trying to have like specific types match up and everything. I think it would just eventually, there's too much math to be doing there.
There's too much going on there.
But I think with 151 Pokemon to rank just from the first generation, we're already going to have to pare down so much that we're not going to include flipping Bellsprout, and someone on Twitter Rudy is going to lose his mind, and because we're already going to have to cut the pool in half.
Yeah.
And then that we are going to be the seeding committee for sure. But I think that making the pool even bigger is only going to cause more problems. And then maybe next year we do Gen 2. That's
my thought with doing the first 2 is if you're just doing one, there's going to be a lot of the same evolution that has to get in there because there's so many in my thinking. So,
how many original evolutions
you're just getting
there?
a little more extra stuff that you can add in and eliminate some of that. Where
We're
you're seeing all 3 evolution chains in the bracket.
I just think we're going to already run into so many that concerns me a little bit. Conversely, this is very different. This is very wacky, and I have a counter argument to this even being a good idea. What if we did all of the starters,
but they're
in a 32-team bracket? Just their first evolutions, purely. We pit all of the starters against one another.
Well,
I'm not married to this idea.
4 of them.
We would have to fill it. I was thinking you could add in Pikachu. You could add in
and
Eevee.
Yeah. That gets you
I was doing the math in my head. Is it only 24? Isn't it?
8 times 3.
I thought we were on Gen 9. We're on Gen 8. You're right. We're on Gen 8.
Yeah.
We could do.
Like if we're doing the first 151, I think that's fine. I think that would be fine. I was just hoping to expand it to the first 2.
I just think so. Your logic there is that we're going to have varying evolutions, of each thing. They're going to end up fighting each other. But even if we have, let's say we have the first 2 generations, we're going to have Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. Even in a 2-gen bracket. I am not that concerned about not having enough good candidates to pick from the 151, essentially, if that makes sense. Because pull up a list of the original 151 Pokemon.
Yeah, I've got it up.
And then consider that we're going to have to cut out more than half of those. Whatever Pokemon you hold a deep resentment for, Beards. Oh, I've also found the definitive ranking of the original 151 Pokemon. This may at least help us get started also as the seeding committee.
Yeah.
Weezing is 151 on this list. This list sucks. This list sucks. I hate this list. But think about that. I'm scrolling through. Their top 50 or whatever seems relatively inarguable. Who
does this list?
It's just a medium.com. You can find literally any of them.
Yeah.
But just for some examples, I think Zubat at 131 deserves to be. They're in the teen seeds, but Zubat should be in the tournament.
Yeah, they're a 16.
They're
seed,
iconic.
Right?
They're a 16 or a 15
They're
seed.
infamous, not iconic.
Tomato, potato.
Potato, tomato.
I personally like Muck for the sake of the Alolan version. We're not doing the Alolan version Maybe they don't make it into the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
But are you telling me that how do you pronounce the one that's a little sort of looks like I turned into Bill Self for a second there. Looks like a steel wool. Tangela? Tangela? I didn't have confidence in pronouncing it.
Yeah, Tangela.
They're 133 on this particular ranking right here. That's inexcusable.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
I have an affinity to Tangela because of Brian David Gilbert, because his favorite Pokemon that he ever had was Terry the Tangela.
Meowth is 65th on this. Now, you might not think Meowth is a top 25 Pokemon, but Meowth's got to be in the bracket. I just think that if we get all the way outside of Gen 1, we're going to just create problems for ourselves.
That's kind of where I lean as well.
I just don't want to overextend ourselves here, Beards. And I really do think, and maybe this is something that we have to do some fine-tuning in the bracketology, where we don't have... actually, you know what? Let's have this conversation. Let's have this very serious conversation here, everybody.
Let's have it.
So let's say we just do Gen 1, right? Which I think is where I'm leaning at least. What's an example? Let's say Charmeleon, let's say maybe Charmeleon's not in the top, in the bracket. We'll see. But Charizard and Charmeleon definitely are.
You mean Charmander?
Thank you. That is what I meant. Maybe Charmander's not in the top 62, 64, whatever. 64. It's definitely
No, you
60,
meant Charmeleon. It's
64.
not in the top.
Yes.
Yes. You said Charmander that time.
Boy, really?
Yes.
Let's say Charizard and Charmander are definitely in, right?
There you go.
100%. Not involved just in this moment.
Okay.
Do we want to lean towards having Charmander and Charizard in the same quadrant? Or do we want them on separate sides of the bracket?
I think it's like the NCAA rules. You cannot play a team in your conference until the second weekend, until the Sweet 16.
So no first-round matchups for sure.
So no first or second round matchups.
Second-round matchups, you think?
Between Charmander and Charizard, yeah. I think you have to make it to where it's Sweet 16 at the earliest.
Or at least on the same side.
Which isn't hard. You're really just talking about like so basically you're with Charmander and Charizard. You're basically just saying that there are 4 seeds that they just out of 4 teams they just can't be in one of those 4 groupings or one of those groupings of 4.
Yeah, no,
but they both can't be there.
I think that's fair. I'm just trying to come up with some form of planning ahead of time in terms of we got to have some rule in place there. Here, if we do have them, maybe generally speaking, meeting in the Sweet 16 of the Elite Eight, I don't want people to have a chance for their Final Four to be all 3 Charmander evolutions. You know, if it's 3 Charmander evolutions in Squirtle, that stinks. I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's.
Do we
strong enough?
Can I add something as well?
I'd love that.
Maybe we limit it to 2 of an evolution, right? So like there can't be 3 of an evolution because
I'm trying to think if that would really.
I don't know if that
really
because again at some point you're just taking the 2 best of a 3 Pokemon evolution.
Well,
do
let me
we
ask
really
you this.
need all
Evolutions.
3?
That's what I was going to ask.
Evolutions, I think maybe are an exception.
I think they're the exception because it's not because it is 3 distinct. Different Pokemon going on 3 different
Are the
types.
first 3 the only 3 in the first
Eevee,
gen?
And then Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon.
Hot take. I think only 2 of those deserve to be in the top 64.
And that very well may be the case. I would say they're unique because it's not an evolution. Like you could view Eevee as just having a bunch of 2 evolution. Like being a 2 evolution Pokemon, it just has a bunch of different branches. It goes just Eevee to Flareon or Eevee to Jolteon. It's not like
Eevee is in the
Charmander.
tournament. Eevee is a top seed.
Eevee's great.
Not a 1 seed necessarily, but a high seed.
Yeah. Eevee's great.
I think maybe they only have 1 or 2 next level evolutions. But yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. Here's what I think I'm going to try to do. I think one of us that has...
I think that helps limit the amount of...
That's fine.
It helps us get more variety in there, right? It lets us... It makes it more easy to have Zubat as a 16 seed, right? Like to maybe have some of these more random,
And
random
I think we can all say, I don't even actually know if this is also first gen. We're going to have Zubat. We're not going to have anything beyond that for Zubat. We're not going to have a Golbat.
Golbat is first gen.
And then whatever's after that is not a first gen. Right? Crowbat is... It needs an item.
Second or third.
I think that's right. we're probably not going to have Golbat. We're probably going to have Zubat. And I think we'll probably, as the seeding committee, I'm guessing at least I will favor the first iteration of most of them because those are the ones you're going to encounter most often. They got the most weight coming with them. I'm going to print us off a checklist of the original 151 Pokemon. This is probably something we'll have to carry into tomorrow's show, but as kind of an early look in, we'll set the seeds tomorrow.
Do we want to get the ones in tonight?
I would be willing to have a conversation about the ones, or to thin the herd. We'll do one of those two things whenever we come back.
Take the show with you wherever you go. Listen live on the Sports Radio 810 mobile app and 810WHB.com.
Attention golfers, Casey's Best Value in Golf has a deal you won't want to miss. Join any Great Life Classic Golf Club today and golf for free all March long. As a Great Life Classic Golf member, you'll enjoy unlimited golf at all 6 Great Life Classic golf courses. Plus, members have priority access to book tee times, so you can golf where you want and when you want as a Great Life Classic member. Join Great Life today at greatlifekc.com and golf for free this March. That's greatlifekc.com.
Rick Edelman, award-winning radio host and founder of Edelman Financial Engines, takes questions on his radio show. Let's hear his answer on long-term care.
Hi, Rick. I'm worried about the cost of long-term care. Should I get insurance?
You're smart to ask, because 1 in 2 Americans over 65 will need long-term care. But do you need the insurance? It depends on your financial situation. If you're rich, you don't need insurance because you can afford the costs. If you're poor, Medicaid will pay for your care. But if you're in the middle class, the cost of care could push you and your spouse into poverty. Before you buy insurance, consider your complete finances, including your savings and investments. Get independent advice from someone who will give you the guidance you need and that's in your best interest.
That's Rick Edelman, founder of Edelman Financial Engines. If you're looking for a trusted partner, talk to one of our financial planners by calling 888-PLAN-RICK or visit rickedelman.com.
Harry's Razors just came out with their sharpest blades ever, but unlike other razor companies, they're not charging you more. Harry's new sharper blades are still as low as $2 each. You heard me right, just $2. How do they do it? Harry's owns a German factory that's been honing razor blades for 100 years. They source their steel from Sweden and own the entire manufacturing process, from research and development to the factory floor. It allows them to keep the prices lower. How confident are they? A 100% quality guarantee. You'll see it at harrys.com. Blades are even delivered directly to you. No getting unmasked and standing in line. They're delivered straight to your door, with or without a subscription. And right now, Harry's has a great offer for my listeners. New customers get $5 off a Harry's trial set when you use the promo code PETRO, P-E-T-R-O, at harrys.com. That's a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and travel cover, all for just $3, plus free shipping. That's razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and travel cover, all for $3, shipped to you for free. Only at harrys.com, only with promo code PETRO.
Hey sports fans, Joni here, and I'm excited to tell you about the newly opened In the Zone Cryo. In the Zone Cryo will help decrease pain and inflammation, accelerate muscle recovery, increase your energy, and boost your immune system. In the Zone Cryo also offers Insta-Sculpt fat reduction, personal training, infrared heat, compression therapy, and more. Mention Sports Radio 810 and receive 10% off your first service. Come see us at College and Metcalf. Call 913-208-4859 or visit inthezonecryo.com. Feel, look, and perform your best with In the Zone Cryo.
Mercedes-Benz is the automotive manufacturer that stands above all others. And in Kansas City, the Mercedes-Benz dealer that has been named Best of the Best is Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City. Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City in Kansas City, Missouri, Overland Park, Lee Summit, and Olathe. Your local Mercedes-Benz new and used car, truck, and SUV dealership. If you're looking for a new vehicle or a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, your source is Mercedes-Benz of Kansas City, 1/2 mile east of 135th and State Line, or online at mbofkc.com. The Kansas City market's #1 volume certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan. Our family has been a loyal Mercedes of KC customer for years. Stop in at MB KC of Kansas City and see why we love them so much. They take pride in their vehicles. They provide great customer experience and satisfaction. MB of KC is your local Mercedes-Benz new and used car, truck, and SUV dealership. 1/2 mile east of 135th and State Line on Highway 150.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
What a dumb show.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Not a lot of time left. We're not going to put anything into stone at this point. No stone type pun intended, although
There is no stone type.
rock type, whatever. Bleep off. I almost cursed at you just now, so mad. We're not going to put anything in rock. I might put Rudy in the ground, though. Rudy's been poisoned to today's show.
I'm really flying high after that pack opening.
I'm hoping we can get you fired. You really bugging me.
I'm really psychic for another NBA Top Shot drop.
This show today has been electric. If we had to kick out kind of our first ideas for one seeds, how are you guys feeling about one seeds? I know Beard's going to hate this. I think Pikachu has to be a one seed.
That's fine.
It has to be,
It's
yes.
almost impossible
Yes,
for me to argue against that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
I am going to have definitely some seed breakers. I'm comfortable with that. I feel right now, loosely, first gen, I think Pikachu and Charizard are going to be really tough to not have on a one line.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think I put Mewtwo up there.
Yes.
I was thinking Mewtwo. I think I might be able to make a little outside argument for like a Snorlax or some of the other starters. I'll tell you what we just did there. None of the actual starters ended up on the one line. And if we're going to I might fight Mewtwo a little bit. I might try to knock Mewtwo down to the 2 line. We're going to have a very contentious show tomorrow. We'll talk Chiefs with Ryan Tracy tomorrow. Pokemon bracket at some point. Until then, bye, Mom!
Squeaky doors, clogged sinks, finicky engines. When things break around the house, you take care of it. However, when something's off in the bed,